Hello, and welcome to the Weekly Scroll Podcast. My name is Ryan, and today we're having SideQuest episode something, something, something. And with me, we have...
I'm lost in a dark place, and I'm very scared.
Hello, I'm Stella Contri. I'm awake before noon on a Sunday.
And I'm Josh, and I'm here. Yay! Return to SideQuest. Woo!
It's been too long.
SideQuest immediately by not doing what? What was that?
Yeah. It's SideQuest episode 100.
Yeah, it's 100. I genuinely don't remember. If you're looking, Hunter, if you happen to go look, can you see what episode we did Best Left Buried on? Because
I forget.
That's what we're doing today. We are going to be playing Best Left Buried. For those that don't remember what SideQuests were, because we barely do, SideQuests is when we take a game that we have reviewed and we play it with a kind of an eye on teaching it a little bit. So we'll go over character creation, we'll go over the basic rules. We encounter a rule during play, we'll stop and say what it is. So if you listen to a review and you listen to us play the game, you at least have a decent enough understanding to hop in on your own or decide whether you even want the game. So this is episode number 9 of SideQuests, and we reviewed Best Left Buried on a number that I'll tell you here in just a little bit. But as always on SideQuests, Josh is our GM in Best Left Buried. It is called a Doomsayer. So Josh, say dooms to us.
Doom.
There we go. All right, stream over.
Good job,
All
everyone.
right, so Best Left Buried. We're going to be playing a section from Behind Closed Doors today. This is one of their earlier modules. I don't remember when exactly it came out, but it's one of Luke Ehring's pieces.
Oh, really?
Oh, cool.
And I think this is the reason that I know what Best Left Buried even is. Because there was I've been following Luke Ehring for a while now. He's one of my favorite writers in the RPG scene here. And there was an interview with a podcast that no longer exists anymore, but they talked about Behind Closed Doors and then Best Left Buried. But it's supposed to be the best Warhammer adventure ever written, not for Warhammer. But we're going to be doing specifically this one section in it called Castle Ascania. It's a little bit more dungeony than the rest of it. The whole thing is characters are playing witch hunters effectively. So it's a big open sandboxy thing. There's a bunch of bad stuff happening here, and some legitimate witchcraft. And so your characters go into the place and fuck around a little bit and probably die horribly. But this one makes a really good condensed experience, so we're going to run through it and see how it goes.
Nice.
Best Left Buried itself, I know you guys talked about it on the episode that it has premiered on. I don't remember when the original version came out, but it was a condensed format. My understanding is it was sort of taking maze rats as a basis and spinning that out into something just a little bit more robust while still maintaining the same simplicity that people like maze rats for. And it worked because I don't really like maze rats. I really like Best Left Buried.
I love maze rats.
My problem came in play. It was conceptually interesting to read. When I brought it to the table, it just didn't do what I wanted it to do. So maybe that's more of me than anything.
Interesting.
But Best Left Buried, basically the same thing, and it works. So it's probably definitely a me problem.
And your people. Sometimes.
Yeah. But so Best Left Buried came out in a little bit more of a condensed form, and then they came back with a Kickstarter. It was either in 2020 or 2021, sometime around then, for the deeper version, which collects their basically 3 books. There's a just general rules, like a GM guide and a monster book. They jam it all into hardcover here, and they expand it, they blow out the setting, so on and so forth. And here we are. Best Left Buried is interesting, and I call it like a little bit of a hidden gem because it has some really good adventures written for it. They got a bunch of like incredible authors to do like modules and small stuff for them, and then they do a bunch of these little just like bifold like front and back sheets of paper. They got a shitload of them too. So if you have not checked out what Best Left Buried has to offer, I'd recommend going to do so, because a lot of really fun stuff that you can find there. But this also makes up what is SoulMuppet's house system. They've sort of taken it and they've used it in a few games now, most notably Orbital Blues, which we have run on a side quest here, and then there is an episode review that you guys can go watch. But if you are watching this episode concurrent to its release, SoulMuppet is currently on BackerKit funding Paint the Town Red, I believe the name of the new system is, but it is a new iteration on their house system here for playing, sad vampires effectively.
And if you do listen to this concurrently, you might hear more about that sooner than you think.
Yeah, so keep an eye out for that. If you like what you hear with the system here, I really like the underlying mechanics of this, and even if I'm not traditionally interested in vampires, it is enough that I'm in love with Best Left Buried and Orbital Blues to know that I'm going to like that game regardless of its subject matter. But with that being said, let's get into Best Left Buried. So what I'm going to do here, talk a little bit about character creation. We've already made characters ahead of time here, so we're not going to do that directly on stream, but I will kind of talk about the elements that you do to make a character. And then I'm going to talk about the basic mechanics about how the game runs. And then we're going to save anything more in depth for when it comes up in the session. So I'm going to hold off on combat for now. We'll deal with that a little bit later if and when fights do occur. So I'll talk about this. I'll give you guys a chance to introduce your characters, and then we will dive into behind closed doors itself. So the basics is when you play Best Left Buried, you are playing a team of crypt diggers. These are effectively like contracted workers. They are a company of some form that goes out, and their job is to go dive into dungeons and tombs and the dark places in search of various treasures. So characters are pretty simple. You have 3 stats to start. There's brawn, wit, and will. Brawn is your physical strength and endurance. It's pretty typical like strength score. Wit is your character's agilities effectively. It includes both physical agility and mental agility. So it's like dexterity and wisdom kind of like wrapped into one. And then there is willpower, which is, your character's intellect, the power of their mind. I guess wit is probably a little bit more of like a charisma type of stat, like dexterity and charisma, while will is the combination of, your intelligence and wisdom. When you make a character, it's pretty simple. You have +2, +1, and +0. You can assign those to any stats that you wish. And that is when you do the basic roll, when you're trying to do something difficult or dangerous, you're rolling 2d6, you're adding your stat to it, and you're always trying to get a score of, I believe it's a 9. I'm going to double check because I mess this up every time. Yes, you're looking for a 9 or higher anytime you make a roll. And that doesn't really matter what the circumstance is. If you are trying to do something difficult or dangerous, that is a static target number. If you have something that gives you an advantage, instead of adding additional points or changing the target number, what you do is you gain the upper hand, which instead of rolling 2d6, you add an extra die in there to roll 3d6, and you discard the lowest die and take the highest. The only time this is different is in combat, which we'll talk about a little later, where your target number might change based on like the armor class of the enemy. So it might be a little easier to hit an enemy than a 9, depending on how difficult or dangerous they are. So beyond your basic stats, your characters also have vigor and grip. So vigor is effectively hit points. It is a measure of your character's ability to avoid serious harm or, take bruises and get a little beat up, lose some energy, and keep on fighting. So it's your hit points. That's more or less how it works. Vigor is pretty simple. Again, you start with a base of 6 and you add your current brawn, which again might be +1, +2, or 0. Now grip is where Best Left Buried gets interesting, at least for me. Grip is the way they describe it is it's a combination of stamina, mana, and a sanity mechanic. This is the secret sauce of Best Left Buried, as far as I'm concerned, where Grip, it's a balancing game. It's depleted as you are entering these environments. It is also how you gain experience to advance your characters by making grip checks and succeeding at them. And you can also spend your grip to use abilities and to reroll your dice. And the interesting thing is, Vigor comes back with a bit of rest. Grip comes back by taking on afflictions. This might be injuries to your character. These might be, like new flaws to introduce to your character. But if you start depleting your grip by encountering the horrors of the dungeons, you can get back by making your character worse in the long run. So the longer you spend in the dungeon, the longer you manage these resources, the more like fucked up you get, and effectively the harder it becomes. So the more you rely on this, and so on and so forth. So it's that good cycle of bad things happening, but you also gain experience. So it's a double-edged sword because you can gain new abilities by seeing these horrors effectively. Now, the last major part of the character is your archetype. So this is basically like who your character was before they became a crypt digger. So what they were doing that gives them the experience they needed to go start diving into dungeons for coin. I'm not going to talk too deeply about what these archetypes are specifically, but I will list them here. The basic book contains 13 of them. I believe there are some expansions that have a little bit more, but I'd have to double check. So your basic archetypes are Believer, Kabbalist, Cutthroat, Dastard, Everyman, Farlander, Freeblade, Outcast, Physiker, Protagonist, Scholar, and Veteran. A lot of those are self-evident of what the archetypes are specifically, and we'll talk a little bit about what your archetypes are when we introduce our characters, so we get everyone on the same page. Then beyond that, your character has equipment. There are limited inventory slots based on your character's brawn, I believe. We're not going to be too worried about that today because we're in the confines of a one-shot. Just know that there is a limit to the amount of stuff your character can carry when you start going on your adventures into the dungeons. I think that is the basics. So we can take a moment to introduce our characters to each other. So we can go in order that we were introduced at the start of the stream here. Let's talk about just broadly, generally, who your character is. Talk about their archetype and any physical detail you think is noteworthy.
Cool. Well, I guess I spoke first, so I'll go first. Also, we did look back. We reviewed this on episode 26. That is almost 150 episodes ago. I'm sure we were dumber back then. So take that episode with a grain of salt. But,
I'm sure we're dumb now.
I said dumber. I didn't say we weren't dumb now. I didn't say dumb. I said dumber because yes, we are fucking dumb. So my character is Varial. I will be playing a cutthroat named Varial. Varial the Cutthroat. Varial the Flayer. To some out there. And what else here? Anyone else take a cutthroat? Yes. All right. I was worried we were all going to be the exact same cutthroat. Lots of combinations though. And my advancement, Knight from the Shadows. So my character is definitely just an asshole. Not a sellsword in that they're gonna be going in just for the gold or whatever. But he is a murderous asshole. He definitely has pieces of other people on him. You're not sure what is artifact and what is fresh. And that's about it. I don't think I'm very plain, I would say.
And just real quick, the archetype for cutthroat. Cutthroats are criminals and unsavory folk, thugs, ruffians, thieves, assassin, or general lowlives. They will lie, cheat, and murder to get whatever they want, and do even worse for what they need.
Yep, that's me. I'm a lying, cheating, murderous lowlife. That's it.
Beautiful. My character is Burgil, the Free Blade. He's a lumbering guy with a big, great sword. I took the advancement Soldier of Fortune. I can re-roll anything that leads to immediate financial gain. He's really here for the money, you know.
And free blades, they are heroes of a financial bent. Rather than saving the world or watching it burn, they desire payment as mercenaries, professional soldiers, assassins for hire, or spell swords.
Alrighty. So that leaves me. I am Petunia Coke, a scholar turned gravedigger. And I took the advancement Master of Deceit, which means I have the upper hand on lying to people. She's got like a very, very, very round face.
And scholars are invested in accumulating arcane and esoteric knowledge. They are reclusive wizards, disturbed researchers, or priests whose solace and enlightenment emerges from communion, with occult gods.
Ooh.
We're a group.
All right. And to get into Castle Ascania itself.
Mhm.
At least now that we have our characters introduced. Now, the three of you. You work for a crypt digging company. Let's real quick. What is the name of this crypt digging company?
The
The
Black
Weekly
Shovel.
Scroll.
The Weekly Scroll.
Well, it matters not. Because your contract was sold out from underneath you into the service of the merciful fellowship of the flame pursuant. While you were once those who dove into the dark and deep places, you've now been conscripted as witch hunters. Though the merciful fellowship of the flame pursuant, they exist outside of the normal legal boundaries. You know that those of noble birth may demand a trial, but the landless peasants may be executed without trial. Those that are convicted forfeit their property to the fellowship. More specifically to you, crypt diggers are paid 300 gold pieces for witches executed without a trial. For witches tried, found guilty, and executed, the bounty is 1,000 gold pieces. And those that are caught in the act may be killed immediately in defense of the realm. Now, your eyes have been set a little higher. You've been brought out to some godforsaken countryside with one target in particular. The Lady of House Ascania has long since been rumored to be involved in witchcraft in some manner. But nobody was ever able to bring any serious charges against them. The houses the house, was wealthy enough to deflect any rumor, any blame, slide money in the right place, and prevent any real sense of governance from interfering with their affairs. Whether they are magical or not is still unproven. That was until the new grant to the Merciful Fellowship of the Flame Pursuant, the holy writ in which they have been granted, gives them impunity. And they have descended upon this nothing of a place to root out any witchcraft that might be present. Now, there is a rubric with which you have been handed of detailing the detection and discovery of witches and warlocks of the foulest sort. It's been written for both laymen and witch finders alike. And this is a simple rubric that may be applied to any suspected of witchcraft. If more than half a dozen or one of the below, if more than a half dozen and one of the below apply, the suspect may indeed be practicing foul magics. If a full dozen and one apply, then they surely lead a coven of witches and warlocks. And these are the things that you have been tasked with discovering, of investigating Castle Ascania, to determine if its lady and lord are truly engaged in this type of magic, the foul magics. So keep an eye out for the following: being able to read and write. Being able to read and write in a foreign tongue, this entry counting twice towards your totals. Some small animals of subtly devilish aspect acts as their bosom companion. Leathery inner thighs from clasping the broomstick. Leathery outer thighs from bracing themselves against the cooking pot. Brindle-furred hounds menace them with growls and barks. The prick of a pin draws no blood nor yelp of pain. Traveling abroad without covering their shame. Owning masks. Owning multiple books on esoteric topics not related to their profession. Bearing an aspect of a beast which fluctuates in pace with the moon. Long fingernails. Exceptional age. Exceptional ugliness. Exceptional attractiveness. Remarkably unremarkable. Beloved by goats. Beloved by serpents. Marked by a devil's kiss. Absolute destitution. Unaccounted for wealth. Consuming spicy foods. Having a horse already saddled with which to flee. Having an animal other than a horse saddled with which to flee. And this entry counting twice again. And of course, when submerged in water, a witch shall float. And then being unmarried, a widower, a widow, or a spouse.
Nope.
Perfect.
I did go to write all of these down, but I could not keep up because I'm a
I
very
couldn't
slow
either.
writer.
Yeah.
But we'll
didn't
find
try.
something.
That's like a lot of people.
Yeah, that's just everybody.
Yeah, it's like every e-girl on Twitch.
Why are your thighs so leathery?
Check them thighs.
Yes. Hmm.
So it hasn't been long since you have been carted out to this, godforsaken bit of countryside. its name not on your mind or in your memory, and I don't know if it even matters to you. Because you've been sent here with singular purpose. The bounty, if you were able to prove that the lord or lady of House Ascania practice foul magics, the bounty is triple what is offered for all others, is enough to sate your concerns, to fill your coffers, and maybe lead to an early retirement if you do not enjoy delving into the crypts and dark places.
Mhm.
So the three of you stand outside of Castle Ascania. This structure is almost like coral, seemingly growing from the stone below it. Lurid purple banners fly, all bearing House Ascania's horse crest. It's approachable only by a well-trod dirt path. And as you stand now, the castle casts a shadow down, the face of the mountain and the path, blocking the sun enough to cause a palpable shiver as you stare up at it.
Mhm.
The castle itself has no outer walls. There's no gatehouse. What lies in front of you is an unadorned, oversized door. 15 feet tall, reinforced in some manner. And as you stare up, you can see that the surface of the structure is spotted in windows that gaze down upon you, almost as if you can feel them being disapproving of your presence. With that being said, what do you do?
So, are they aware that we're coming?
In a specific sense, no. In a general sense, probably.
Mm.
So we're currently outside of this castle.
Correct. You
Is
are
there
sitting some paces from its main entrance, sort of staring up at it and taking it in.
Is there a stable on the outside, or is that do I see a stable?
No, there's no outer structures. It's simply the castle itself.
I think a witch lives here. Seems witchy.
Seems witchy. Very, very witchy.
Does seem witchy. Like if I mean, where would you put the horses? Do you ride the horses right into the castle, right through the front gate?
Maybe they don't have horses. Maybe they have other things.
I mean, that's a point right there.
That's two.
You know what? Go ahead and mark those 2 points down.
Yep. They get those witch points.
Yeah.
And it's a woman. So
And
Already
man.
guilty. Yeah, I guess do
Yeah. Let's knock, right?
I was say, can we circle the exterior of the castle and see if we see anything of note, any other entrances?
While the castle itself does not have any walls or sort of ramparts or anything that you would imagine would be protective measures, it does sit on the face of a cliff.
That's a point right there too.
Spires upwards from effectively the peak here of this hill or mountain or piece of rock that extends outward from the earth to the point where you can probably see this castle from miles around, though it does make approach pretty much from one direction. You can go a little bit around both sides, staring upwards at the same structure.
the very last castle.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I think we should knock and say that we're travelers who are lost.
Sounds like a good enough plan for me.
Anyone here really good at lying?
Yeah.
I'm just going to step forward. I'm gonna be real. That voice I was doing for the character that originally didn't start out as me attempting to do a voice. My voice just came out weird. I just decided, I'm gonna roll with it. But at this point, no, I'm not gonna roll with it. I give up on the funny voice.
Yeah. I haven't decided to commit fully or not, so
I
We'll
always
get there.
commit to the bit.
You do. That's true.
So a Petunia Coke. Did you take Master of Deceit? Was that one
I
of
took
your
Master of Deceit. Yeah, I am a skilled liar.
nice?
With my
Cutthroats
silver
also
tongue.
yeah, Cutthroats have Silver Tongue as like a base stat too. The upper
Ooh.
hand on wit checks to deceive.
I did not know that. Very interesting.
I love that
Yeah.
I'm playing the big guy, the big dumb guy with a sword this episode.
Yeah, I will use my deception more for murder though. If you want to have that sweet Silver Tongue.
We're two liars are better than none. Because if you can have a story that you can corroborate
Yeah, and
with ease,
and
even.
there you go.
Yes.
We're lying, but I will
Ooh.
defer to my companion here. Don't you are you gonna do the lion?
I think I'll do the lion. Yeah, I'll knock on the door. I think I might. Yeah, we're travelers specifically. We're specifically here from another. We're here representing. Let's say we have some kind of connection to another nearby noble house of some variety. Like house Hawthorne or whatever. Let's go with that as a lie that we're in some way representing that noble house.
Yeah.
House
A
Hawthorne.
quick rule question, for the Doomsayer.
Mhm.
For your archetype, do you start with everything that is under your archetype, or do you just pick one of those? Remember that I've reviewed this game, but also it was in 2021. So
I think you're supposed to start with one. Hold on.
If your character
Um,
resembles an archetype, simply write down those abilities and start playing.
I believe you start with the things that are listed.
okay, cool.
And then you have a choice of picking your advancements.
Yeah, advancements. Okay, gotcha.
We're gonna
Yeah.
roll with that if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I mean that's what it says here. It says simply write down those abilities and start playing.
Okay.
Yeah, that works
If we're
for me.
wrong, please leave hateful comments in the YouTube.
Yeah, we chuckle and send screenshots to each other.
Yeah, we point and laugh. We go tee hee, like that every time.
Just like that. That's what I'm gonna write on every. I'm just gonna write teehee on like every comment on this episode.
Okay, House Hawthorne. I'm just a guard. Don't make me talk to people, please.
Of course. But actually, fuck it. I'm going to go back to that weird nasally voice. Of course.
A horse, of course.
Yeah, I'm just going to go up and I'm going to bang, bang, bang.
Yeah. As you pound on the door, it echoes. It's a 15-foot tall iron door, effectively.
Okay.
So it sort of resonates.
I'm not in league with the elves.
It remains silent for just shy of an awkward amount of time until you hear a great lock being turned and a screech as the door opens on its hinges. Only a crack. And you see in the crack, a very old face with almost completely milky white eyes. And a voice sort of croaks out. Yes.
Holy shit.
We're travelers here from House Crawthorne, or Hawthorne. Um, I fucked it up already. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Take two.
Yeah, take two.
Sorry, lady, just 1 second.
Yeah. Travelers just passing by. We come here representing House Hawthorne, and we were just interested in perhaps staying the night as we're tired and world weary.
Go ahead and make a wit roll for me.
All
To kick
right.
this off into the actual mechanics. And again,
Good to
just
know.
for a reminder, that is 2d6 plus your current wit stat versus a static
2d6.
target of 9.
All right, so does this count as deceit because therefore I do have an upper hand.
Add a third dice in there. You are lying.
So it's been so long since I've there we go. And then my wit at a uh wonderful +2 and 11.
Oh, you're supposed to drop the lowest. I
So
don't
I
know
was
how to
supposed to
program
drop
that
the
into
lowest?
thing
Okay, then
here.
9.
Woo!
9 it is.
Mhm.
And you stare at this face. And he goes, yes, yes, of course, of course. The hand kind of like grips the outer edge of the door, and you see the start to push. And again, it's that screech of iron hinges as it opens so slowly to reveal probably the oldest man you've ever seen. He is like I said, milk white eyes. There is just 3 wisps of hair on his head just kind of blowing out, and now the wind that is coming through this hallway here. Dressed very finely, like incredibly expensive silk, but is very clear in the style of like a butler, like a suit and what have you. And he is just like bent over, almost tree-like in age as he sits there. He's pushing the door open. And then he looks at you. At least you think he looks at you. He goes, yeah, okay, come in, come in. And he turns around and starts heading into the establishment.
Let's follow him, right?
Yeah, this is good so far.
Good job.
One second.
Quick shout out. For those watching on YouTube as opposed to listening in podcast land, the dice overlay that comes up on the screen is dddice.com. Great little website that I found to use as a dice roller right here on stream. It's got some cool tools, free for most of their tools, which is great. And they do have a Patreon and stuff like that. Not sponsored. No one sponsors us. We don't want your money. And just as a really cool website. So dddice.com.
I would love your money, but for reasons unrelated to this show.
There you go.
So you watch as this old man wanders in. The 3 of you follow behind. No, you are led in to this place. Now, the thing here is sort of like the striking contrast as you cross past those sort of iron doors inside. While the exterior is coral-like stone, like a growth that comes out of the earth. This is very much a different, like, sort of interior aesthetic. It is old in the sense that you can tell the pieces, like the carpeting, the tapestries, the furniture, all of that is, quite old. Like I said, maybe 100 years old in some of these pieces, even if it isn't necessarily like your forte, being able to identify these type of artifacts. But their age is sort of apparent. So you walk in, you see it's a hallway, a grand entryway. The ceiling stretches up well into the air. A dusty chandelier kind of hangs from the front. The stone floors are, have a bit of a red carpet that shoots down, or maybe like a mauve or a maroon carpeting. Plenty of wealth on display immediately upon entering. But again, it is dusty. It looks fairly undisturbed. And it's dimly lit. And that becomes apparent when the iron door just shuts behind you. And again, it's just booming echo down this hall, and it reverberates. The butler is, hunchback, and he's shuffling forward down the hallway, paying you no mind.
So wait, he's in front of us and the door behind us just shuts by itself?
Uh-huh.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Point.
So as you're standing here in the entryway, the butler, he's not moving very fast. That's the thing. He is like inching along, but he's currently walking away, paying you effectively no mind, as far as you are currently aware, at least.
That's good to know. I love being heated no mind.
Did we get this guy's name?
He's a servant. Why would he matter?
Hey, old timer, what's your name?
And you see his head turning. He turns his head back. He continues to shuffle down the hall.
Okay, good.
I told you he was a servant. What would it matter?
I think he feels the same way.
Yes.
And you can kind of hear him
Yeah.
muttering, and it's because this is so like echoing of a space. You can hear him. It's like, well, and the banisters and the tables themselves are dusted, and it's just like coming stream of these words coming out of his mouth, but not directed at you.
It's directed at the universe.
Yeah, I don't want to trip him. See how long it takes him to get out,
I don't think we should be that cruel.
Listen, I am a thug, ruffian, thief, assassin, or general lowlife. All right.
Okay, that is general lowlifery.
That is extremely general lowlifery.
I reckon what we ought to do is we just ought to make our presence known via a great and bellowing hello,
So let's just scare the shit out of him, all three of us.
Well, here's the thing. Well, no, there's a 90% chance he can hardly hear.
Yeah. So all three of us just like get up, creep behind him,
am I
scream
the
at the same
idiot in
time.
this party, or are you guys the idiots in this party? I'm having a hard time figuring it out.
He can't hear us anyway.
I still think we should, as a party, we ought to like
Trip him. Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? Sure, why not? You can trip him.
It's okay.
You gonna go trip him?
No, I'm just gonna. I'm just low lifing over here.
Are we? So we're moving very slowly. Do we see any rooms? Are we passing by? Like we're walking through. I assume is like an entry hall, right?
Yeah. And the hall goes and goes and goes. It is a pretty substantial amount of distance that this entry hall goes forward. You don't really see any rooms either.
Oh, good.
Hey,
Hey,
oh,
oh,
go for
go
it.
ahead.
Yeah.
Oh,
Go for it.
hey, I'm just gonna call him Bannister because it's the one word I heard him say. Hey, old man Bannister. Do you have a library in here? I'm trying to brush up on my history.
He goes, turns, and he seems slowly look at you. Library. Yes,
I keep
yes,
books.
Of course.
Hmm.
Blood collection, the library. Go down the hall through the left.
And how long is this hall?
Are you asking him this?
Yes.
Turns, he looks at you. No, it's certainly long enough. Turns and
Okay.
starts walking back down the hall again.
I- let's just walk ahead of them. We can make
I'm
better
like, this
pace
is-
than he can. Yeah.
In a very meta sense, like this is the first puzzle, which is to fuck this guy and let's just move on. Yeah, I'm just gonna completely commit to that and just be like, all right, bud. Hey, and I clap him on the back pretty hard. Where are we going? And I want to be like up in his business. Like I'm gonna step in front, like step to the front, and like really just give him like a clap on the back and like, hey.
How hard do you clap him on the back?
Like not soft.
I'm gonna need you to make a brawn check.
I got a good brawn. Did I break this man?
Specifically, you're trying. If you succeed, you do not break this man.
Oh, okay. So I hit him and realized how fragile he is, and hope I didn't snap his spine. Dope.
Yeah.
Am I at any type of against the odds or upper handy?
Let's just do this a straight roll.
Okay. I could do a heroic rescue if he's a cutthroat. Okay, so my brawn is 2. So I'll do 2d6 plus 2 and roll that beautiful bean footage.
Hey.
All right. So you clap him on the back. You do not flatten this man to the ground, at the very least.
I'm able to hold myself back.
Yeah. It's a resounding pop back. He seems to pay no mind. But as you pop on the back and you kind of walk around and head down, you hear, yeah, yes, of course. Let me know if you then guests.
Okay, now I trip him. 100%. So I want to walk up. I walked up to his left, right, clapped him on the back, asked the question. He completely ignored me. I'm just gonna like walk around in front and like do one of these, and then as he walks by, I legit just do the very classic like foot kicked out a tiny bit and see what happens.
This old man doesn't seem to notice what you're doing. He's very, at least he appears very blind, given the state of his milky white eyes. He hits your foot and tumbles forward. And when he hits the ground, you hear a resounding.
I think your mic cut out there. I didn't hear anything.
Oh, what part did you not hear?
The
A
sound.
resounding.
Oh, yeah, I probably blew it out. A resounding clack, like a snap, as he hits the
Jesus.
ground and stops moving.
Oh man.
All right.
You dillard.
Listen, we're more. Okay, listen.
You're an imbecile, you know that?
I'm supposed to be the imbecile.
He wasn't leading us anywhere. I say as I kneel down and run his pockets.
One less bounty.
You filter through his pockets. You find like 14 handkerchiefs. Just like an excessive amount of handkerchiefs.
Are they different colors?
Of course.
Oh,
Yes.
of course. Okay, yeah. It's a silly question.
And there are various states of being used as well, for what it's worth. And oh man, I'm trying to think of like what era Best Left Buried to sit in. I'm gonna say you find like a pocket watch.
Nope.
Witchcraft.
Yeah, I take it all.
Okay.
Are the handkerchiefs a nice silk fabric or anything?
It is of like varying quality and age. Some of them are like tatters, while some are like brand new silk from the trader that
Nope.
you may have
I'll
found
take
this
any
morning.
that seems like I can get some coin for it and stuff it in my pocket along with a pocket watch.
All right, so you have a bunch of handkerchiefs.
Well,
No. This man, it's immediately obvious as you fleece him, he's not breathing.
was he obviously breathing before?
Debatable.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
I
Well,
almost
then
forgot to spell
I guess
handkerchiefs.
we'll get to work. We know where the library is, so you guys want to go? You want to check out the library?
Sure.
It'll be a lot harder to maintain our cover. Now, the one person who we told this is dead, and one less bounty.
I think he fell.
He did fall. I mean, technically he did fall, is what
Over your
Vanderbilt
foot. He
says.
fell.
Listen, a fall is a fall, right? Listen, old people fall. That's what fucking happens, all right? I do think that we should hide this body. And I look up and down this extended hallway for any place I can stuff an old man.
Why are you trying to make this worse? Why are you trying to? Why are
Do
you
you
digging that
rather
hole
leave
deeper?
his body in the middle of the hallway so we can be found
Yeah,
immediately?
we'll go find the master of the place.
Listen,
and we'll be like,
he's
"He fell."
old as fuck. If we hide him somewhere, people are just gonna assume it's taking him a year to cross the building.
We. I think hiding will just make things worse. You know this. Think for a second. Am I the only one here with any wits about me?
Maybe.
I mean, I still think we should hide him, but Lady Wit here, lead the way.
All right, I'm just gonna march forward, for a while. I think I'm concocting a plan. I'm gonna act very perturbed by the death of this servant.
I whisper
Something
to
I do
Burgle,
not-
should I trip her next?
What's wrong with you? What are we doing?
Listen,
So you do
low life.
see at this point, there does appear to be end this hallway and a wooden door that leads in. It's still a little ways down, but it is within visual range. At least you've gotten this far down. So you do just leave the body on the floor?
We
Apparently.
leave the body on. Yeah, I'm leaving the body on the floor, but I'm
It was
gonna
an
make a
accident. He
big
fell.
deal.
He
Yeah,
died.
no, I'm gonna like be preparing like tears and stuff.
I leave a note on it like I hit a car.
Fine,
Sorry
sure.
about that.
Yes.
So the three of you leave the man crumpled on the ground, having been fleeced,
Jesus Christ.
robbed of his handkerchiefs,
And pocket
watch.
watch.
and watch. And you continue down the hall heading for the door.
All
You make it
right,
about 6 paces before you hear another crack coming from behind you.
Oh, Jesus Christ. He's back.
You look.
Yeah, we're looking. What's
Yeah.
happening?
3 of you turn and look, and you see the man get up and unbreak his arm effectively. Like you see it pull it out as he stands back up and shakes himself slightly. I need all 3 of you to make a grip check.
All right, that's just grip check. That is
You're just using willpower here. So
right.
it's again 2d6
2d6 plus 2.
plus will, looking for your target score.
all right. Roll.
I failed.
Ooh. Succeeded.
Very nice.
So mine are red outlined. Petunia, yours are purple outlined, and Burgle, yours are green outlined.
I believe so.
So 2 success and a fail.
Yeah, I failed.
The 2 of you that succeed, go ahead and take an experience point. Hunter, you lose one of your grip.
Oh, there's no
Oh
way
God,
to...
what the fuck?
This is where I would mark it on the form fillable character sheets if they allowed us
Oh,
to
no.
mark.
Yeah.
It's the one thing that's not fillable.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm gonna
to be
put it
fair,
in
these
my
are
affluence.
very strange shape.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess are we using affluence?
I highly
Yeah,
doubt
let's
it.
say fuck it. Yeah, fuck it. No affluence. 1 XP. That's okay. I kept hitting O instead of P. It's not XO. That's a kiss. Ooh.
XOXO, Gossip Girl.
And for those that are listening in on this, when you gain experience points, you're looking for, I believe it's 8 of them. Once you achieve 8 experience points, you're able to gain a new advancement. And it also improves your grip and vigor. So you have to see the weird and wonderful things in order to improve as a character. All right, so the 3 of you who have seen this, 2 of you are able to kind of stave off the weirdness, but one of you is a little perturbed by the situation. How do you respond as you watch this old man pulling himself off the floor and like correcting his bones, and then he's like resumes the hunchback position?
I turned to Vero. I'm like, don't do that again. This is weird.
I turned to Petunia and I'm like, oh, maybe we should hit the body.
Give the man back his handkerchiefs.
I pull the pocket watch and handkerchiefs out of my pocket, and I will walk over to the old man and be like, "Oh, hey, guy. Sorry about that. I'm gonna here you go." And I'm just gonna like I don't know, just stuff him in his pocket.
And he goes, "Oh, well, you kind sir must have taken."
You dropped him. You dropped them, bud, and then I punch him in the face. No. So hey, we're gonna go on ahead. So you can just do your own thing, not with us. Is that cool?
Oh, goodness, just anything, please summon the help.
Yeah. Listen, I will reach right out to you if we need you in any way, shape, or form. Where do you usually? Where are you usually?
Oh, little here, little there.
Yeah.
The chores, the cleaning, tending to affairs.
Yeah, they're not dying or breaking or anything to that. Yeah. So yeah. All right. So we're gonna go do stuff. Okay. Okay. Bye.
Oh, pleasure is mine.
I'd like to
I
stalk
love that we're
back.
just.
No, you love that we're what?
Well, I love that we're cunts.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
As like a very different approach to side quests.
Right? Not our normal that we always do. But yeah, I'm just gonna grab Petunia Burgle by the arms and just like fast walk, like looking over my shoulder, and we're just gonna like down the hallway.
With that cretin alone, we could have this entire thing burned to the ground for witchcraft.
Listen, he ain't going anywhere fast. We can come back and grab him.
That's true.
I should have tied a bell to him or something.
I don't think he's moving fast enough for the bell to be set off.
And that's very true.
And you can see, like, at this point, he's fully turned around and he's like heading back towards the main door.
Okay, let's go through the wooden door then.
Yeah, go through the wooden door.
Okay, the 3 of you walk on forward. Door opens. It's very fine, like oak or something. That's a good heavy wood. Walk in. Do you find yourselves in privy? There is a line of... Now, this isn't
There's
really
a line of
arrow,
one in
it's
the
like
privy.
Yeah.
a line of holes, effectively, that you shit into.
Oh, how fancy. Communal
Oh, okay.
shitting.
Not what I
Yeah.
expected.
So there is, as you walk in, you see it, and like I said, this isn't really an arrow with like plumbing, but this has to be a pretty advanced system where you hear running water, and it's like you see that it's not even like a chamber pot; it's literally like a stone bench, effectively, with like 3 or 4 holes. There's wood ornated around it. Definitely, you know, communal sponges and buckets sitting next to said holes, and like wash basins to tend to your hands afterwards. But again, it's a spacious room for what you typically assume a privy to be. You walk in, there's potpourri. It smells kind of nice in here.
Very
Oh, the
rare.
master bathroom.
Hey,
Yeah.
hold on for a second, guys. And I walk up, you know, into one of the holes, and I wash my hands afterwards. It's nice.
There is another door on the far end. The same wooden arrangement.
I love how in every game I've played where Josh has mentioned there is a bathroom, one of the characters has immediately used the bathroom.
Yeah, I mean,
When you gotta
listen, there's
go.
not enough adventures where using the bathroom is really an option. I mean, theoretically, you can go anywhere, but like, you know,
Yeah.
I'm sure there's 1,001 OSR blog posts on like, can someone shit in your dungeon?
At one
Where does
point
the
in a
poop
server
go?
I'm in, because I'm a big lover of procedures, there was a server I'm in where we created procedures for how long you could go without pooping when you're dungeon crawling, and the penalties for just shitting yourself. I'll see if I can find it and send it your way to elevate your dungeon crawling.
Here we go.
Jesus Christ. Anyways.
It's all solved with an impeller, is all I'm saying. Anyway.
That's true. True.
All right, so you're in this room. You have
Yeah.
used the services here. At least one of you has. What do you do? Where do you go?
You said there's another door?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, is Burgle the number 1 or number 2 in?
Oh, he's number 1 and
Okay. All right. Well, then yeah. As he's washing his hands, I'm gonna go just peek through that other door, I guess.
Take a look inside. You see before you a library. You know, great, again, hardwood, maybe oak shelves, nicely darkly stained, kind of arrayed out in a fashion here, all filled with volumes and volumes of books. There's a table in the center that clearly has like a bunch of paperwork and stuff kind of strewn about on it. And it is not the largest library you've ever seen, but it is certainly large enough to be classified as a library. There are, in this case, windows to the outside in this room. You can see the sunlight streaming in and, you know, making a nice little beam on the floor.
That's nice. Sunlight is nice. I'm gonna look around the books to see if there's any written in foreign tongues.
I was gonna say they can read. That's points.
I think yes. And these are, if you understand the foreign tongues yourselves, fairly mundane volumes. Even the ones that you do understand, or if you can read or write yourself, that's a better question.
totally illiterate.
Yeah.
I think I know how to read.
You are a scholar.
Yeah.
That would make a whole lot of sense if you couldn't.
What's it say?
So if you're looking specifically for the one in foreign tongues, it depends on whether or not you can read said foreign tongues.
I don't think I can read said foreign tongues.
it doesn't look terribly intricate. It's not like you pull it out and it's like spells or the pentagram or whatever. You open it up and it's just like words on the page in whatever language it is.
Well, I can't read those foreign tongues, so I'm going to say presumably spells.
Muy bien. El gato en mis pantalones. Are there any esoteric books? Did we find? I wanna do the whole like tug some books up to see if it spins the wall around kind of thing too. You know.
You check the books. Can you read?
Here's the thing: is I think that I'm a cutthroat and a criminal. I do think I can understand like basic language as far as being able to like read a contract of something I want to steal or something, but I don't think very well, and I don't think I can write it.
Okay. So a few things you notice about this room as you guys are kind of like searching it. Like, there's plenty of foreign language books in here. The table in the center has a map of not just like the region you guys are in, but sort of the greater, world of Best Left Buried is splayed out on this map here. Papers around it seem to be talking about like trade routes and resources and whatnot. The books you find in this library are primarily like histories. They talk a little bit about flora and fauna. There's very clearly like each bookshelf is specific to like a region of this, world here. But you also find stuff like accounting records and whatnot, just like a bunch of general stuff here. This isn't a library in the same sense of like you go check out a book. It seems to be like a personal collection of volumes for somebody who's using this room.
Interesting. My number one question, and I'll do a character voice. We can tell the difference, right? Why can you only get to this through the bathroom? Personal library. It's like an ensuite library, but like to the bathroom. I don't quite understand like the structure here. Is there a door? I'm gonna bang around on the floor, lift the carpets a bit, see if there's anything else. There must be some other way.
No. I'll make this over the table evident. Every room you enter, there's always a door forward, and there isn't always a door back.
Mm.
So there is a door in here. Do I see a door?
Yes, it is
Okay.
evident on the wall. It's where it should be. It's not.
It's not on the ceiling
under
or
the
anything.
rug.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
So
Right.
I'm gonna respond to that question you asked in character, and I'm going to say, I don't believe it's just accessible through the bathroom, and I'm going to point to that door because I'm a dick.
All right. Then my
Let's go
second
open.
question is, why is it attached to the bathroom at all?
Well, sometimes we sit down and you got a long one, you want something to flip through, or so I've been told. I can't really read, so.
Hey, listen, that's very true. And if it's too
imagine
far away,
Burgle's
you're not going to find it in
holding a book.
time.
Burgle's holding a book and it's like upside down,
Oh.
It's got pictures in it though.
It does have
Botanicals.
pictures in it.
Yeah, it's
All
got
these
flowers.
pictures are upside down though for some reason.
All
All right.
right. Yeah, let's.
I see no evidence of witchery. Forward.
He sees no evidence of witchery. Teehee.
Hee
Hee hee.
All right. Yeah, let's onward.
Right. And as you open this next door to head into the room here, as soon as the door opens, your nose is assaulted with pleasant smells.
Ooh.
You see
Mm.
it is cooked meat and spices that you can only hope to describe just waft out. And you see beyond the threshold, it's a kitchen. There seems to be a nice wooden table perched in the center with various like vegetables and process of being prepped on it. There was a hearth with a fire roaring there and some stew kind of bubbling up. There has to be some kind of like brick oven set up there as well that is cooking whatever meat you're currently smelling. Maybe it's like adjacent to that somehow. The heat of the hearth is warming the meat as well. Cabinets and pots and pans hang from the ceiling. Is a very much like a servant's type of setup here, where it's not like finery. This is bare kind of stone and not dressed up, but it's very utilitarian in a sense. And there are two different servants here. Both pay you no mind as you open the door. One is tending to the stew and kind of stirring it and like looking at it. The other is sitting at the wooden table. You hear vegetables being chopped.
Ooh. Wow.
I say we keep going.
We need audience with the Lord and Lady. This
Don't bind us.
fair enough.
I think that might be the problem. Here's the thing, right? We came in through the front door. Absolutely nothing happened to the butler. And now we're just roaming someone's home.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And these two seem not to care at all.
And you get a good look at them as you say these two and point, and they are not quite as old as that butler, but their frames are rather frail, their skin fairly wrinkled, eyes a little more vibrant. But again, they pay you no mind as they tend to their tasks.
Trip them both.
Throw one into the stew.
Yeah, no, I definitely violently no. I want to call out to them. They appear male, female.
Let's say both are women.
Okay. Hello. Fine ladies.
They're maidservants. Address them by their titles.
Hello, maid servants.
And you see the one at the table chopping vegetables, looks up, goes, "Good day, sir."
We are here from as travelers that are a little bit too world weary. We're traveling to House Hawthorne, and we were wondering to have audience with the Lord and Lady of this fine castle. We were let in by the butler, and we were just wondering when dinner would be served and where.
And the woman continues to chop and kind of turns to look ever so slightly, goes, "You wish to arrange audience with the Lord and Lady, you need to speak with the butler. Dinner will be served in approximately," look at the non-existent watch, "approximately 1 hour once the roast is finished."
Thank you for telling us. We will go back and have audience with the butler. And I'm going to look at the rest of them, and I'm going to look to the door that is not towards the butler. And just going to want to walk, just...
Yep.
Yep.
Can I
Onward.
snatch a vegetable off the table as we go by?
Sure, it's a good root vegetable. It is not a carrot, but it kind of looks like one. It's an odd color. It's like purple. As you pick it up.
That's normal
Radish-
for carrots.
What? Yeah, you get purple carrots.
I had purple carrot last night.
Yes, we know that's normal. Your characters probably would.
This
Oh.
carrot seems witchy.
There we go.
Yeah, witch carrot.
Well, I mean, no, it wasn't. Wasn't it?
No,
Carrots were like historically purple, and then like modern varieties were more orange.
Oh,
Wasn't
I
it
don't
that?
know. Like, where the fuck do I know?
No, it's a witch carrot. Tune
Okay,
up.
fair enough.
Purple
this
is close
world,
to
they're
red, which is
orange.
blood. Yeah.
Fair okay, yeah, fair
The
enough.
blood carrot.
Very scary.
Yeah, I eat it.
It's like a carrot.
This is
Tastes
the
good, though.
scariest fucking carrot I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Make a grip
All right.
check to eat the carrot.
Grip this carrot. On we go.
Uh, oh, Jesus. All right.
Are we really making a grip check about the carrots, or?
I don't
No.
think so.
Oh,
I'm so fucking scared. There's a carrot. What am I
Yeah.
gonna fucking do?
we're doing really great. So we go to the next door.
Wait till we tell about what green orange is.
Oranges.
As you pass through the next door into the next chamber, you find yourselves looking at an array of beds
Mhm.
displayed out. There's probably 24 of them, a little too close together for comfort.
Mhm.
And they're in various states of make and unmake. Some neatly tucked in as if waiting for somebody to return, some disheveled, some have bodies in them. You hear the sound of sleeping.
This is servants' quarters.
Yeah.
And you see 2 or 3 individuals standing up and moving around. They are dressed in, you think it has to be an armor of some sort. It is a boiled leather, but it is not particularly well formed. It has been placed on them. It's kind of, hardened leather. Me talking out of my ass. It's usually formed in a shape that conforms to the body. This is different. It's not like it's super abnormal. It's just as if they were made for bigger people. And so the warping of the leather just never really sits on the bodies particularly well. So those that are up and moving around, they have this leather armor on. They're carrying like clubs in their hand. And they seem to be just like going about their business here. Some are rooting around chests. You see at least one of them is donning said armor.
Do they seem like sallow? Do they seem like sunken cheeked or anything? As if maybe they had once been larger?
No, not in the same sense as those that you have just previously seen. They are a little more color to the skin, a little more color to the eyes. Not quite malnourished, more sinewy, like a soccer player instead of a football player.
Mm.
Yeah, big thighs.
What's the leathery?
Do they have leathery thighs?
Listen, bust out those thighs, buddy. We gotta.
Yeah.
They're wearing leather
Inside or
pants to
outside?
accompany. It's probably more like pieces of leather kind of strapped around their thigh, and a pantaloon or whatever is
Half
beneath
point.
it.
You.
I'm sorry, did you call it one?
Yes, I said you there.
One turns
And I just
to
kind of
look.
flailed towards all of them.
They begin.
Oh.
Now, as you say that, the one that you call out to, or one at least that responds, like stands to attention and begins marching down the corridor between the bunks towards you.
Got some action, guys.
You got it.
Oh. Yeah.
So you have a moment or two until they arrive. Do you do anything, or do you just let them come up?
I'll put my hands on my hips.
When I
Oh.
dip, you dip, we dip.
I will very calmly put my hands behind my back, which is also where I happen to keep my dagger.
Walks up. Goes. Good days to you, sirs, madam. What is your business here?
Well, we are world-weary travelers.
Worldwide travelers.
Yes, world-weary travelers coming from just passing by. We are on our way to another noble house, as we are from House Hawthorne.
How's Hawthorne?
Um, and we realized that it would be befitting of us to take take refuge as we are simply too weary at this castle for just a moment. I'm sure you understand. We've been searching for the Lord and Lady of this household. I'm sure you're certain of them.
Well, yes, of course, the Lord and Lady.
We unfortunately, many of the other people we've talked to have not been particularly talkative themselves. So we were wondering what would be the best way for us to get audience with the Lord and Lady.
Audience. What do you mean? Audience, this isn't a show.
This, we wish to be in their presence, talk to them and stuff of this nature.
Be in their presence. They aren't gods either.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Sir?
We wish to be in the same room as them so we can talk.
Rooms you can talk. Oh, yes, of course. Wow. Good luck.
I just look at Beryl. I'm like, what's
I had no fucking idea, bro.
okay? Can you tell us in which direction said room would be?
No, that is the affair of the butler. You should, yes, you should.
Oh my
speak
fucking
with
God.
the butler.
Oh my God.
So can we just go? Can we just keep
Yeah,
going?
I trip him. No,
And he goes, the butler manages affairs of the house. We patrol the house. Wait. And he looks you up and down. You aren't here for our game and animals, are you?
what game?
We're unfamiliar with any
Is it a
game
dice
like
game?
COD game, even?
I need one of you. It's not that you're lying. It's that you are trying to convince this man of your innocence in this matter. Who wants to take the lead
What's
on this?
funny is when you first said game, I thought they just playing some fucked up game tonight or something, and I was like, oh no, like hunting. I get it.
You know what? I'll fucking do it. I'll roll for it.
All right. You can take the upper hand in this. Because this is not an exceptionally bright person.
Neither am I. I got 10.
And that is
Hey.
and he looks you up and down. Goes, okay. So he goes, hunting is off limits. It's purely for our Lord and Lady here. You would take it well to avoid it.
Of course. Do
Uh-huh.
we look like hunters of any regard?
Hey, do I?
They don't. Yeah, listen, we're witch hunters. That's totally different from a normal hunter. It's fine.
I
We
meant
don't even
more
have a
of me,
normal hunter.
the person.
Yeah,
That's true.
My name is
That's-
Hunter.
that's what
And he
that's what I
goes,
thought.
You never know the types of deception the poachers will go to claim their prizes. You can't be too sure around here. That's why we keep a sharp eye on things.
Yes, we've gotten that vibe so far.
Yeah, you just killing it, you guys. What's your name?
Okay, we're gonna keep going.
No one in this castle has a name anymore.
It's
Listen,
the
buddy,
best time
I'm
to
gonna
be a
call
game
you-
master. You just
I'm gonna
don't
call you
answer what they
Joe.
ask for a name.
Joe.
Yeah, you're Joe. You have
Joe.
a name now. How do you feel about that, Joe?
Joe. Feels fitting. Feels right.
So what's your name?
My name is Joe. My name is Joe.
Nice.
we got one. Does that change him in any way?
He suddenly grows now.
Yeah.
He suddenly built like a fucking football player.
Yeah.
He seems more self-assured.
Human
Right,
fridge
fulfilled.
type build.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Joe, remember us. And we'll remember you.
Mm. Oh,
We will remember. All right, we go.
while we're walking away, I'm going to whisper to the others of it. Just that I know I said with the iron door that there was a chance they were not associated with the fairies and the so ons, but with the lack of the names, we must be aware.
Yeah, it's feeling real normal in here right now.
Yeah. I just marking a lot of points, you know.
I like
Do
how
we
your
have a
character
total?
doesn't know what is and is not a point on the list, and so just like anything of even relative creepiness, you're like, that's a fucking point right there.
Almost all of them have been points. I'm just saying, almost all of them.
Spice
What we
meats,
should have done is just
literacy in foreign languages.
there you go. A spouse and or a widow.
Have not seen
Potpourri in
any
the bathroom.
devilish. I have not poked any of them with needles, and that is. We
Should
don't
be
know if they
poking.
float. Do you have a needle?
So the
Not-
next room.
All right.
We should have just
so,
carried the butler like a piggyback ride.
Yeah, he's
I
all of
was so
15
close.
pounds, probably.
I was
You
so
can still
close
go
to being
back
like,
and get
fuck
him.
it, we just carry him. I mean, at some point we're gonna have to if everyone just keeps telling us to go
Actually-
talk to the butler.
Actually, you know what? Do you want to go back and
No.
carry
Let's
him?
circle around.
He's
And
he's
I'll-
all of 15 pounds, and it's not like
Yeah.
we went that far. Honestly, we're like 3 rooms over.
No. Move forward.
All right, fine.
you know, just go get him.
We will. We know how to get back the same way we came. Just go that
Of
way.
course.
Oh, all right. Well, when the Doomsayer says it like that, I feel like if we go backwards, we're going to go into a different room. So this is cool.
Oh no, I don't know what you're talking about.
I would no,
As
that's
you-
meta. I'm not going to meta that hard.
Push forward. Let's do this one next room, then we'll take a quick bio break. So you push forward into the next room, you open the door and find yourself in a great hall.
Oh,
The room is large, like massive. Windows along both walls stream sunlight in. It is a hardwood floor, the wood paneling on the walls themselves, an ornate ceiling, a chandelier that hangs down over a table that is way too long. We're talking maybe 100 guests could sit at this table. In this case, I will say there are several doors kind of spaced out throughout the room as opposed to just the one back and one forward.
that's good to know. Is there? So we ought to be back here in an hour for the food. There we will determine if their foods are spiced in the devilish manner.
Yeah, I will note that the table's unset. You know, there's nothing on it. It's bare. It's
Yeah.
polished wood, but there's no tablecloth. There's no nothing. There's probably a little bit of dust on it even.
Mm.
But again, there are the chairs, though. The chairs are present. You know, there are two very sort of ornate ones at the head of the tables on each end, and then, you know, just an assortment of wooden chairs.
Alrighty. So you mentioned that how many exits were there from this?
There are several. I don't think the specific number really matters until we need to
Fair
make it
enough.
matter. But
All right.
Like I said, this room is more well lit than any you have been in so far. There's probably, not quite floor to ceiling windows, but very large, just 6 windows, 3 on each side, streaming the sunlight in.
That's good to know. Sunlight, it is antithetical to the devils.
Are you just making stuff up?
Who here has dedicated her life to scholarship and
That
now
doesn't
wish
really answer
hunting?
my question directly.
This buffoon. You're a buffoon, you know that? An oaf.
Neither does that answer my question.
I am not making things up. Why
There
would
we
I
go.
ever make things up?
Okay, fine. I'm just checking.
Uh, God. Yeah. We're
Do we want to go ahead and take a break here? Is that what you're saying, Josh?
If you guys wish to move on, if there's nothing else you want to do in this room, we can do that
there's-
now before we dive in further.
Yeah, I don't think there's much to do in this room
Yeah,
that we can
I
see.
agree.
So
you pick a random door to push on.
The first one on the right.
First one on the right. All right. So as you reach for the door and open it, we will find out what happens at the door when we come back.
Be right
there we
back.
go. Bye. Hey,
We're back.
we're back.
Woo! I have a weird amount of energy today that is not normal for me, and you're welcome.
Okay. All right, so we're diving back into Best Left Buried, Castle Ascania from Behind Closed Doors.
Mhm.
Before we proceed to this next door, do we have any questions, comments, thoughts, concerns, ideas that we should address? Well, we have a moment.
0 thoughts. Head empty.
No concerns, at least.
Lots of questions. So as you open the next door, you go from this opulence of the great hall that you were within to bare stone. It is a small room. It is dark and dingy. There is a single torch in here,
Mhm.
and the bars of a cell.
Let's see. Is there anyone in the cell?
You look inside. You see there's like straw or hay on the floor. It smells terribly in here. But there is a bed. The bed itself is messy, as if it was recently used. But the door remains open, the bar door of this cell.
Huh.
Hmm.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's very good, I guess. Not really, but
Yep. So what do you do?
Yeah.
hmm.
So let's just look through the hay real quickly, just move it about with our feet or whatever, see, make sure there's nothing
I poke it with my
lurking.
sword. I poke around in the hay.
Easy enough. Just shh, 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 shh. Clink. I think it's with the sword. You
Wait,
hit
what's up?
something solid. With
Oh.
the sword, you hit something solid underneath the hay.
Damn it. And I put my sword back on my back and I dig through the hay with my hands.
Go to pick it up as you grip onto the solid object and pull it forth. I need you to make a grip check because this is a human bone that you have pulled out of this hay.
Is grip wits or will? It's will, right?
Could be Will. I think it's Will.
I think it's will.
I'm a master of this system.
It's Will. On those character sheet, it says starting 4 plus Will.
9.
A 9. All right, so you pass. Gain an experience point. And I don't think it's like a femur. It's not comical. It is identifiable as human. How about you tell me, Hunter?
Maybe like a
Why
regular
is it
ulnar?
identifiable as human?
It has human bone smell, which I'm very familiar with.
Oh, it has human bone smell.
Yeah, I'm like, I pull it out and it's like, yeah, it's like it's like tibia or femur, and I'm like, I think this is a point, guys.
Mm.
No.
I'm like, yeah, definitely came from a person, and I just toss it back in the pile.
Fair enough.
Interesting. Interesting. Well, listen, why would you throw the evidence back?
Oh, we saw it, right?
Take a picture. Picture didn't happen.
Take a what?
Listen, that's
Draw a portrait.
Yeah.
There we go.
Take a quick sketch.
Yeah.
I mean, people did. So there's a door forward. There's a door behind us. This is an extremely weirdly laid out. All right, friends. This building, this castle. What's going on? We had a library lead to a bathroom lead to a library, lead to a servant's kitchen, lead to servants' quarters, lead to what was it? A great hall, lead to a cell.
Well, hold on. Let me check something real quick. And I walk back to the door we came through, and I open it and look through it.
Open it and look through before you. It's not the Great Hall.
God damn it.
Oh, we're so fucked.
I need all of you to make grip checks.
Oh no.
Shit.
Domain expansion.
Two black dice.
I failed.
That was a failure. Lovely.
Yeah.
I succeeded. It's 10, baby.
I
I
succeeded.
got a plus
Nice.
1.
All right. Those of you succeeded, go ahead and take your experience.
I fall further and further away from sanity.
Yes, Burgil, you
Further
fall
from
further and
God.
further away from sanity as you lose one of your grip. Staring at the chamber you look in is not the Great Hall. It is a very large hall, and there are portraits all over the walls here. It's finely ornate. There's the carpet returns. There is various pieces of furniture in here as well, but it's primarily a room of portraits.
I love that narratively, when my character found a human bone with which the smell he's familiar, he passes his grip check because that's just not that weird to him. But the other ones I've made, I've failed. So
Yeah. So how do you respond?
I'm like,
Oh.
I like just blank in horror, like no scream, just like.
I was gripped by it too, but I overcame. I raced towards Burgle and I grab him by the shoulders and turn him around. I'm like, shake out of it, Burgle! Step aside, man!
It's witchcraft. It's
I
witchcraft.
pushed him out of the way and I slammed the door and then I open it again.
I think it's that same room this time. As you slam the door, you open it. It is the room with the portraits in it.
Oh man, you know how many times in a row I was gonna do that if you just ran. I slam it, I open it. I slam it, I open it. Well, dare I say point?
Witchcraft.
This is fucking witchcraft.
I told you they're in league with devils of some variety, or maybe
You
the
don't have to
elves.
convince me. We
No,
came
I'm
here to
turning
murder.
to Burgle.
Ah, oh no, a room of portraits, Burgle. Oh no.
Oh. We're fucked.
Yeah, we're so fucked. We are indeed fucked.
Uh,
Well, how about we do
You know,
this? Let's run forward as fast as we can in a line, running through as many doors as quickly as we can as possible.
I really like how I had convinced myself, no, there's no way that these rooms are like random or whatever. We'd be able to navigate back. We're just like psyching ourselves out because we psych ourselves out all the time. But no, it's hitting. Shit.
Have we seen a room with a single window?
Oh yeah, if we can find a window, we might be able to break out and
Jump off the cliff, yes!
oh, that's true. Oh yeah, shit, we are on a cliff face.
I personally think that my run through as many doors as quickly as possible is the best way to do it. As a GM.
Yeah, let's just keep moving.
Let's find out how many rooms God made before he has to slow down and roll some more.
Let's antagonize the DM.
Hey, you're just a referee, you know?
Oh, yeah. This
The humble
bespoke.
adjudicator.
Yeah,
Right?
this is all
world
set
exists.
out and laid out
Yeah.
before me. I don't have to make this up off the top of my head.
Uh,
All right, so do you all right, so you see this room that lies before you. You are going backwards now, effectively, with the room of portraits. You can continue into that room. You can do whatever you want at the room. You can try the other door. The choice is yours. What do you do?
Oh God.
Here's the thing, as it feels like there is no forward or backward at this point, because if the room is going to be different either way, any way is forward. So what if we... All right, come into the room.
All right, yeah.
With the one with the portraits?
Yeah, portraits.
We're into the portrait
Okay.
room.
Okay. You go into the portrait room.
Do we die instantly?
No, you do not die instantly in the portrait room.
So then here's what we do. We go into a room, we shut the door. Both ways are forward. Either could be anything. So you two each take a door, we open it up, and we see, and that gives us 2 options in every room, plus the one we came from, so that means 3 options in every room. And we just try to find something of import. I don't know.
That doesn't sound like it do much, would it?
All right, Petunia, what is your plan?
Well, I'm gonna just let's just stay here for a bit and we'll think. Let's look at some of these portraits really quick.
All right.
Is there anything?
My plan B is just start a fire. So
That was my plan. I was about to say that.
All right. So entering the room, do all 3 of you look at the portraits?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
All right. So as you walk in and look about, the portraits, their faces might not necessarily be familiar to you, but their names are.
Yeah.
They are, at least the ones that you're reading as you scan the room. There's little plaques on each of them. They appear to be members of royal families that have been deposed at some point or another. Especially those of you that know history, and specifically the scholar in the room
Yes.
would be able to point this out. But I need each of you to describe one of these royal family members and how this portrait of them is subtly deformed.
Yeah. So go ahead, Justo.
Oh, I was gonna say, well, there was Prince Howard III. He was notable for having lost an eye in his youth, but in this one, he has both his eyes are gone. He just has a bandage over both.
Yeah, I'm looking at King Agamemnon, one of the world's most famous speakers and orators. And he's got long white hair and a crown, but his mouth is open and his tongue is black and rotting.
Yeah, I'm looking at Count Radu. But if you look close enough, you'll see that his eyes are... the pupils are sideways, like a goat's.
I'll spare you the grip checks for now.
Or not.
Oh no, I'm doing so good. Come on.
But this is, an eerie sight nonetheless as you stare at them. Each of these paintings is similar. There's a dozen, 2 dozen of them beyond the 3 that we have described here. But as you look, it's similar in terms of how you guys have presented them, but, different afflictions for each of them. But with that in mind, as you stare upwards at these paintings, what do you do?
We should leave. We should keep going.
Is there a lantern in here of any kind?
I said these rooms are dimly lit. This is probably on like the bits of furniture there. There's like a candelabra, maybe one on each side of the room, and that's really the only light available.
What happens if I take a picture of a wall? Am I able to? Are they bolted on, super glued?
I think you can take one if you want. They're large. I mean, these are portraits, so the thing is like big, tall. It would be cumbersome to try and carry it.
That's fine. But then I also have chain.
Okay.
You're gonna have to tell the class what that means.
Okay, so what I would like to do is attach a chain to the portrait. All right.
Following you, yeah.
Yeah. How big is the gap under the door that we go in and out?
I don't think there really is much of a gap.
It's a castle.
Stop trying to gamify the room switching mechanics. I'm trying to cheese.
I'm not trying to meta it. I'm trying to in-character cheese the game.
Yeah, so even in, me not like trying to fuck with the mechanics of how this place operates, we're talking like a very affluent castle in terms of like the way that this would have been crafted is such that the doors would glide along the floors without much of like a gap beneath them. It is very finely crafted materials that you are seeing here. This isn't just some fucking inn in the middle of town.
Yeah, no. So listen, what I would like to do, and tell me if you think this is dumb, is I want to attach something to a rope or a piece of clothing or something, and put it through the door, shut the door, open the door, see if that thing is still there.
I think a chain might be a little too chunky to fully like close the door, but maybe a piece of cloth, or you don't have the handkerchiefs anymore, you gave them back. If you have something of that sort, that's probably thin enough to survive what you're trying to do here.
What about 50 feet of rope?
The rope itself, like it's you wouldn't necessarily be able to close the door on it.
Okay, fair.
It's thick hempen rope. It's
all right. I take off my shirt and I just tie the core. It doesn't even need to be a picture. It could be like the candelabra, and I'll tie my sleeve to it so it's like flat behind it, and I want to like put it through and shut the door on it.
Okay. Which door are you going through first, though?
Does it matter?
Does it matter?
I don't know. That one.
That one. Well, you need to tell me if you're going back or forward.
Let's go. You know what? Let's go back.
You go back, okay. You open the door once again. You see the cell that's there.
Did the candelabra survive? Oh wait, no, I haven't done the thing yet.
Yeah. All right. So you do the thing.
Oh.
Just to truncate this, and everything is as you left it. You return. You open the door once again, and you see the candelabra. You see the room of the portraits, just as you left it.
So to truncate even further, so we went in the room, I shut the door, and then when I open the door, it's a new room. But what if I did it before I opened the new door the first time? Would the candelabra still just be there? Because I'll waste the time.
The room is as you leave it for the few minutes you spend tinkering.
Okay, I'm done with this. And I just throw the candelabra against the wall.
Flatter. Candles hit the ground.
So back in the cell. Can we see, is the bone still there?
Yeah, as you left it.
Okay, so let's go ahead and move forward. We'll move into the next door in the portrait room. I think where we are.
Yeah, let's move back to the portrait room and then try going forward from there.
Forward there. Yeah. All right. As you pass into the next chamber, you see a very similar room to the portrait room. Similar size, similar adornment. Except in this case, the walls are bare. And really the only thing in here is a dais with what looks to be a book sitting on it.
I'm gonna go and get the book.
I was gonna go get it and then be like, oh, I can't read.
I'm looking forward to losing some grip soon because I lose double grip. due to my scholarly nature.
Well, I'll let you make a choice here, whether or not you wish to do it. It depends on how much this derails your character. Pick up the book and leaf through its contents. It becomes abundantly clear. Not immediately, necessarily, but within a moment or two of reading it. This book details the activities of one Brutus Lycan, I believe is how you say the last name. Brutus Lycan is the representative for the Merciful Fellowship of the Flame Pursuant that you met upon arrival and who sent you to this castle. The details of this person's activities includes meeting you and sending you here, but it does not follow you beyond that point.
What? Sorry, Stella, explain it to me real quick. What?
I believe we may have been set up.
Oh, good. Good. I was worried this was just going to be a normal trip through a castle with changing rooms.
Point.
Oh, fuck. We're in this deep.
Feel free to make that grip check.
Yeah, I'm making that. I'm making that grip check.
Are we all doing it or just the one that read it?
I think just the one that read it, because she hasn't kind of conveyed it more beyond the oh fuck at this point.
6.
Failure. Go ahead and lose one of your grip.
Yeah. Well, and also because mind cracked. Scholars are susceptible to a thirst for secrets. The first time each adventuring day they spend or lose one grip, they lose an additional point. So,
Dope.
so that should be 4 out of 6 grip.
And again, remember, since we've started losing grip here, that you are able to sort of replenish that by taking on afflictions. So keep that in mind if we wish to pursue that path.
This is,
Oh, yeah.
I do have a special thing because I have, due to my scholarly nature, I have pendulum sanity. The secrets of esoteric knowledge lead to scholars developing coping mechanisms. When taking an affliction, they reset their grip to 11.
Oh, fuck.
Wow.
I believe you typically set it to 10, so it's just about boosting that up a little bit once you're taking that affliction.
Well, that pretty much balances out mind cracked.
Minecraft?
Yeah. Not to be... I mean, that does fuck with me because there was like this one server I used to watch Let's Plays of when I was younger called Mind Crack. And so now it's Minecraft. There's too many.
You open the book and you see a different world. It is blocky and pixelated.
So,
and then the memory fades.
Yeah.
Per the Zini 5 consequences, it says you can volunteer injuries to reset your grip to 5.
The way I understand it, and I could be wrong here, is that injuries, you can gain an injury doing like normal shit, like falling off a cliff. You can also take an injury to reset your grip, but it's the affliction, the one that like really fucks you up, that resets your grip a little higher.
Oh.
That makes sense.
Oh, I see it. Okay. Cool. Good.
Alrighty.
All right, so you have picked up this book. You've seen its contents. What do you do?
I'm gonna put it in my backpack and well, I'm gonna say forward, right?
Yeah, forward.
Yeah, listen,
Yeah.
at some point, I'm going to set stuff on fire. I'm just throwing that out there. Or, listen, my plan to just run as fast as we can is also an option.
I kind of want to take an affliction.
Just cause?
I'll let my grip get a little bit lower, but I'm going to take one before day is up.
That's good.
Right now, or do you want to do that before we're done? Because that's going to be a sec while we figure out how to do that.
No, don't worry about it. We'll keep going.
All right.
Alrighty. So,
Just for the sake of time, we might start truncating things in
Okay.
terms of like descriptive measurements, so we can kind of get through this a little bit quicker here. Because we do want to end in hopefully a little less than an hour at this point. But
Wait, you don't want to spend 10 minutes with Ryan trying to break the system again?
if it is important, we can do it then. I just mean that I might be a little more terse when I'm starting to describe rooms here.
Ah,
Or you can just say we move forward or what have you, and
Yeah.
then we'll just push into the next room and I'll describe it as opposed to like fucking around with the doors. In this case, the next room you enter,
mhm.
stonework, tapestries on the wall, in this case, no underlying carpet. Again, it's a fairly small room and it's like a hall in nature. It kind of extends forward where you see a suit of armor about halfway down the wall, sitting there, presented on like a small little stone dais that raises it up ever so slightly, and it is holding a shield with the house crest of House Ascania and a spear in one hand, but it looks like a standard adornment of armor. It is gleaming, it is shiny, it is well polished. And beyond that, there are banners and tapestries on the walls, but otherwise the room is fairly empty.
Mhm.
Does the sword look, or the shield look serviceable?
It certainly does.
I grab it.
So you reach forward to grab the shield, take it around its side, and pull it from the suit of armor. The glove of the armor stays with it. It comes off in a piece as if it was gripped around. And as you pull back and step back a foot or two, pouring out of the arm comes vermin of all manner, insects, rats, spiders, just come out and splash on the floor.
Ooh,
this is
grip
this is
check.
bad.
Yeah. Grip check, everyone.
Bit.
Cool.
Oh, I passed. Thank God.
Ooh, I failed. I think that's my first one.
All right, so
Mm.
you go ahead and lose one of your grip as you pull it off, and it's like a whole bunch of them just pour out, and they're still moving. Like the bugs are shifting and moving, and more start to continue to crawl out of the barren part of the arm as then they fall down onto the ground. And like I said, it's all manner of bugs, insects, and there's a rat in there that's like squirming around and
Let's
squeaking
leave.
until it starts to run off. What do you do?
Like, I don't know. Just dry heaving into the pile of vermin.
Do you still hold the shield? How do you respond? Do you run away? What's going on here?
Yeah, I'm just gonna start moving towards the next door quickly. I'm like, come on, let's go.
Yeah, I run. I don't think I'd let. I just don't even realize I'm still holding it. I just run with it.
So you hold the shield. You run forward. Next. The next chamber you enter, running forward, is very clearly an altar of some sort. This room here has religious significance. It's not necessarily in the aesthetics, it's more of the quietness that comes over you as you shut the door, and almost the feeling of calm. And then you see it. It is a hearth, but it is an altar as well. And there's very clearly something on it presented as offering.
Mm. Uh, hmm. That's well,
I'll say that there's a window in this room as well. The light from the window is cast down upon the altar.
Hmm. I wanna try taking a look out the window to see, are we still even on the first floor?
So you walk over to the window and stare out. You see you're elevated in some capacity here, but you are staring down at the village, that sits sort of below the castle.
Hmm.
But as you look out the window, seems far shabbier than you remember, as if the places are a little run down or dirty. But you can't help but get the feeling that everything is also shifted slightly to the left. Go ahead and make a group check for me.
Alrighty. No. 10. Hey.
All right, gain your XP.
Mm. It's my favorite kind of thing to gain, honestly.
All right, so Petunia's staring out the window. What do your other two do?
I approach the altar.
Approach the altar.
I would like to apologize if you can hear the car alarm going off right outside my window.
Can't hear
Go
it.
to my end. As you approach the altar, you see laid atop the smell is what hits you first. That of rotten food laid out to spoil. And again, this is it is a hearth. There is a place for a fire that is not lit, and it is like the mantle above it that the offerings are placed. But mixed and piled up here are an assortment of small shoes, as if for children.
I try one on.
Does not fit.
Okay. I think we should keep moving because I don't like what's going on in here any more than I liked what was going on in the last room. Maybe even less.
We push
Moving?
forward.
Yeah, we push
Yeah,
forward.
Okay, there we go.
You walk into the next room and you see, I'm just going to read this verbatim. Huge amounts of drug paraphernalia and substances. But you walk in and like a acrid smell hits your nose at first. You see many medicinal herbs strung from the ceiling and drying, along with paraphernalia, the means with which to use them, some familiar as in pipes and glasswork, some strange and esoteric. There's a tower with pipes coming off of it. It's very, very strange.
Some real sticky shit in here, you know?
Oh, got that real sticky icky, you know? Is there water in some of these paraphernalias? Is it bubbling?
I think so. None of them seem to be lit here, but
We could be lit here, you know what I'm saying?
Whoa.
All right.
there's probably also like this is a means with which to store and prepare these various substances, but it's also probably a place to consume them. So there's like chairs and tables and whatnot that are kind of in here, as if it is a lounge in at least half of the room.
I think I'm gonna take a load off and smoke a bowl real quick.
Yeah, we got the den, you know.
You're gonna smoke fucking unknown witch drugs?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's where we're at now. I'm right there with them. Yep. Give me the witch drugs. Point.
You're gonna have to make a grip check because you might get the kind of high that makes you so scared.
Yes,
that I see something real.
We're gonna gamble here. Those of you who are partaking in these various substances, at least the ones that seem identifiable, make a grip check.
Well, luckily I've been doing so well on those today, so
There's an image that's been seared into my brain of Ellen DeGeneres on the verge of tears that just says, when you get so high that you start getting afraid.
13.
All
Yo!
right, 13. Are we having another partaker, or are we?
No
Yeah.
way. We just rolled double
Hmm.
sixes and double ones.
Mhm.
All right, so
Well, at least we'll
Virgil,
get the extremes of both, you know?
Yeah.
yeah, Virgil, you regain one of your grip as well as your experience. Burial, am I saying that right?
Yes.
It's Variel.
Burial, there we go. You lose a grip. And
That's it.
tell me the strange thing you see for but an instant.
For but an instant.
It is there and then it is gone.
The strange thing I see for but an instant. You know what? Fuck it. I see hell for just 1 second, and we're all burning there.
You feel the flames lick upon you, the heat on your face, as the room burns and spins into chaos, and devils and demons fled in from the sides, each of them grabbing a hold of you, and then you're back in the room.
We need to burn this place down.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So hell's real, guys.
We knew that.
Yeah. We definitely knew.
The jury is still out on heaven, but hell is.
Hey, listen, let me hit this one more time and we'll see. As if heaven would be any better. Anyone remember those old school angels? Whew. Yeah, I'm gonna put down the paraphernalia and I'm just going to stand up and walk out of this room.
Just fucking leave.
I'm just gonna leave.
And as we continue to push forward into these chambers again, if you just wish to move on without interacting, let me know. I'll describe the room and set it up, but we will decide what is important.
Yeah.
Because the next room you walk into is lined with shelves of jars. Probably 3 or 4 in here. Each of these jars appears to contain small strands and coils of human-looking hair.
Mm.
No,
Yep, we're not
no,
touching this. They're not.
I don't even slow down.
Yeah,
Nope.
me same
No.
here. Just no, fuck this. Keep going.
If we start the fire in here, it will smell like burning hair.
We should have set the hay on fire in that cell.
Well, I mean,
I was going to say, and speak of fire, as you enter this next chamber, the smell of smoke hits your nostrils upon opening the door. You see it. It is a large room. Bare except one thing. A crib lies in its center, blackened and charcoal.
oh,
I resent all of this whole adventure.
Yes. Is there anything in the crib by chance?
As you walk up, you stare down. I'm not going to have you make a grip check yet. I'm going to have you make a willpower check, if you please. It's basically the same thing, but
It's the butler. 12.
as you stare down at it, for the briefest second, you feel the echo of a presence, but it disappears without much more elaboration than that. You feel something there. Can't quite tell what, and then it's gone, and you see the empty, burnt crib.
Yep, nothing here, guys. Let's go.
Okay.
Hmm.
The next chamber you enter, as you push in, it is filled with glass display cabinets. Each of them I read the word wrong the first time, and it got me on the second time. I'm just going to read it verbatim. The cabinets are full of murder weapons and marital aids.
What the fuck is
Interesting.
wrong with this place?
So, I mean, I'm down for some murder weapons, though. I can stash a couple of these. What happened to that shield I had?
You have it. It's a shield with a gauntlet still attached to it that is
All
like
right.
ripping it for dear fucking life.
Yeah, I chuck that
so-
shit and I take some murder weapons.
To use the shield, you would have to insert your hand into the gauntlet, and it basically prevents you from dropping it easily. But it is a shield, and it helps with your armor.
Oh, well, then I'm just going to take that and toss whatever shield I had already.
It does something to your armor. Yay.
Yeah, shields add +1 armor.
Hey, there we
Yeah.
go. +1 armor.
So what kind of marital aids we looking at?
You tell me, what kind of marital aids are we looking at?
Is that a spiked cock ring?
Oh,
That's
carved of ivory.
that's a
With
murder weapon, actually. So, yeah. Nah. All right. Again, I just want to let's run, guys. Let's
Yeah.
run through as many rooms as we can, as fast as we can. Listen, if both of us run in opposite directions, eventually we'll break the jujutsu and we can get out of the time loop. You know.
Sure, yeah.
Oh, JJK. Your ending was
We can just defeat these devils.
All right. So, do you guys take any weapons or anything like that? There are plenty of sharp and murderous instruments in here behind glass cabinetry.
I've already got a dagger.
Yeah, I've got a great sword and throwing axes. I think I'm all set.
I got a broadsword, but if there's a wickeder, no. So my debate is pick a cool looking weapon that makes me look really murdery, or just keep my like kind of mundane weapon that makes me look less murdery.
I'm grabbing an unspecified marital aid.
All right. We will keep that secret and specify what it is when it becomes relevant.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
It
take
might be-
a wicked looking blade.
It's like, all right, you take it's like a curved blade, one of an assassin or something like that. Yeah, like a serpent, but metal.
Yeah, I don't touch anything because I am superstitious and ignorant, and I've already had a bad time. So,
All right, and as you walk into the next room, that unspecified marital aid might be relevant because you have found yourself in a medieval BDSM chamber.
Yeah, that makes
Oh,
sense.
was that not?
no, this is the actual chamber.
Yeah.
That was
As
the
you
prep
walk
area.
in, there are, without delving too deep into this, there are various leather adornments. There are various different chairs that you don't think are for sitting, and there's
Yes.
probably a comfy bed in here too.
A few swings too.
A few swings, leather. There are whips. There are chains. There are numerous things, and this is a very large room, and there are a large amount of these things.
It's like the Matrix, you know, when you first load in and you're in that one white area and you can pick whatever
Yeah.
weapon you want and you go in. That's what we just.
But it's medieval BDSM.
I think the Petunia doesn't understand what's going on and assumes she's walked into a torture chamber.
I mean,
On
close
account of the
enough.
fact that it is a torture chamber. Just
Yeah.
you know. She doesn't realize the other aspect of it.
Ass. Fact.
Tee-hee.
And we move on.
All right, pushing forward.
Tee-hee.
Tee-hee.
Hunter.
Mhm.
Tee-hee.
No, that's y'all's thing.
Hey, you did it before too.
Ugh.
No, I never have.
All right,
YouTube
he's cocking our
commenters
tee-hee.
Sound off with Teehee in the chat.
Yeah, someone timestamp Hunter's first teehee.
No, I'm
Yeah.
not going to. No, I've never done it. I'm unique.
Teehee.
Also, there's no one in chat, so well,
Oh.
that's not
You
true.
too.
Two commenters. Yeah.
Yeah. Sound
There we
off in the comments.
We have
Yeah.
one person in chat.
Yo,
Woo!
hi. Sending lots of love. Mwah.
All right, the next chamber. As you walk in, there's a trophy room, but where you would see, you know, a taxidermied animal in the preserved hunt, you see a different kind of trophy. These human bodies, stuffed, morphed, twisted, and displayed, each of them in almost a caricature-like situation. You see a man holding a spear upright as if going down for the kill. You see people sitting at a table, and it's like the dog playing poker scene, except it's people, they're dressed up, and
As
It's like
dogs.
people playing poker.
people playing poker as dogs.
Yeah.
You see it's as if the snouts and ears of hounds have been sewed onto their faces.
Oh.
And again,
Definitely.
these are one of, or two, I guess, of many of these displays of these human trophies. This is a good time for a grip check as you guys are getting into the weird and not pleasant.
Weird and wild stuff.
Success except for Petunia.
Yeah, that's bringing me down to 3 grip.
All right, go ahead and what do you guys do when you enter this chamber?
What the fuck? What the fuck is any of this? This whole day.
Yep.
We need to burn this place down.
I said that like 10 chambers ago we should set a fire.
Let's fucking do this now. Like I think this is we're grabbing a torch that we've got
Yep.
as part of our standard adventuring gear.
Yep.
We don't have, admittedly, I don't think we
Flask
have
of
fire.
oil. Flask of oil.
Oh yeah, actually,
We all get.
yeah.
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 Let's do it.
Light it up.
That's
Light it up. No.
Flask of oil sprayed around the room upon the trophies. Quick, as the flame begins to engulf it, and the smell coming out over here is wonderful. Do you quickly run?
yep.
Yeah.
All right, so you turn and run out the door, and bang, as the door closes behind you. You see it. You're in a long hallway, the 15-foot iron door at its end. This looks like the entrance chamber.
Yeah, this does look like the
Oh.
was the butler here.
Butler's not here.
I was gonna just run and like elbow. And
I was
this
gonna
time-
say, same, dude. I was like, drop kick that motherfucker. Yeah.
You know what? Do we have any more flasks of oil, or is it just the
I was
one?
gonna say we should track it out of the room with us.
Yeah.
Hmm.
What do you do?
Light it up.
Yeah, we're lighting it up. We're running to the door. We're fucking fleeing heroically.
Yeah.
Lighting up and sprinting forward, you get to the big iron door, chains a lock, and you hear as it opens. The scene behind it. A black sky, lightning repeatedly splitting across it, almost a strobe-like pattern. Each time the blades, like snake across the sky, you see before you a blasted landscape of sharp crags and bladed hills. In the grounds before the castle on the hill itself, you see hunting dogs, thin, bony, but feral looking, with their sharp teeth protruding out of their mouths and their back legs replaced by wheels as they drag themselves forward on the grounds before you. Beyond them, a beast of a horse with a man on top holding a spear seemingly patrolling these lands. But it's almost as if the dogs are slowly following behind him. What do you guys do?
What the fuck is going on with this place?
So,
I know that horse is the point.
As a scholar, I have the ability to what's it called again? Here, let me check the zine. Oh yeah, scholar. Forbidden knowledge. Once per adventuring day, you can ask the Doomsayer a question to which the scholar might have uncovered the answer while researching forgotten tomes, the wisdom of elders, or obscure libraries. The Doomsayer names the price in grip, steeper for chthonic, archaic, or unanswerable questions, which the scholar may pay to receive the answer. What is this place?
Ooh, okay. This is 1 grip if you wish to spend.
All right,
It's easy enough.
All right, yeah, sure. I'll spend the 1 grip down to 2.
This is something you've only read about.
Of course.
Even that, it seems to have been mostly bullshit myth and people talking out of their ass, effectively.
Mm.
The way it's been described is the land of shadows, associated typically with, witchcraft. It is apparently where, demons are sort of pulled from as used to servants by, those who use the foul magics. But it matches the black sky, the crags and the stones, the strange hell beasts that crawl upon the ground ahead. You have a pretty good educated guess that it might be this land of shadows.
Mm.
Oh man.
It is not the entrance with which you came through, at the very least.
Oh, well.
So do we go back into the place we just tried to burn down?
Or we can talk to him.
I think that I want to take an affliction at this point.
Do you have one in mind, or are we just going to pull from the thing?
I was thinking they're watching, which is the character develops a belief the world is secretly run by a cult, secret society, organization run by humans or demi-humans, demons, ancient gods, or aliens.
Just like
I
real
think,
life.
I think that the witches control the world, and they are toying with us.
Is it even conspiracy?
Reasonable, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead and put your grip back to 10, I believe, and note that affliction.
11 as a scholar.
11 as a scholar.
Yeah.
Ooh, crank it up to 11.
Yeah, consequence. They are watching.
Okay. So you guys, the door has been opened. You see this land that lies behind you. Petunia is increasingly perturbed at this sight. You see the glimpse of recognition upon her face. What do the 3 of you do? You smell the smoke in the burning chamber behind you that you lit on fire.
Can I fall upon my sword?
We got a little bit of time to do that.
Deuces, guys. I'm out. Have fun with this. I guess we go back into the burning chamber.
Yeah, I guess we go back into the burning chamber.
Talk about out of the frying pan and into the fire. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Into the self-made fire.
Out of the hellscape and into the fire. Yeah.
As you turn around, look upon the room of the fire, you see a familiar face. A stooped man shuffling towards you. A flame around him seemingly unbothered by the fact that is occurring. All the way at the end is the door with which you left. What do you guys do?
Oh my god.
At this point, I'm going to take out one of my throwing daggers. I'm going to try throwing it at him.
All right.
I'm wigging the fuck out. I'm bugging out.
All right. So this is going to be just a quick combat.
Alrighty.
So
Perfect.
just to kind of quickly discuss the rules here, we're not going to really bother about initiative or what have you at this point. We're just going to do attacking. When you attack an enemy, in this case, I actually kind of this is the really fun part of the system here. I think it is clever with how it leverages this. Attacks are always made with 3d6. You roll the dice and you choose any two of those numbers to exceed the target number. That is, in this case, the enemy's armor, and it varies. It's not 9 like we discussed at the top.
Mhm.
And in this case, you don't have to take the highest 2 die when you're attacking. You choose which 2 to pick. And as long as they exceed that target number, your 3rd die is your damage.
Oh, that's clever.
Yeah. So you can get lucky when it comes to, these type of attacks. But in this case, I'm just double checking what you add when you make a ranged attack.
It says on my character sheet that it is wit.
I thought it was. I just wanted to verify, but I don't think it's in this little mini zinny here.
Oh, wait,
Okay.
actually,
Yeah, so go ahead and roll 3d6. Add your wit to the 2 that you
oh wait,
choose.
no, darts are throwing, so I can choose either wit or brawn. So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna add my +1 to brawn.
Okay.
All right, that is 5, 1, and 3. Okay,
Did you see what
I'm
we're trying to
choosing
hit?
5. Yeah, I'm choosing 5 and 3 to be the attack and 1 to be the damage.
Yeah. So this is a almost immobile target, slowly shifting. It doesn't really have any armor, so
Okay,
that's the
fair.
9. We're probably looking like an 8 to exceed. So you have beat that with the throw and the 1 damage. So take your throw, throw it, sticks into the man. He goes, oh, and he falls over to the ground, seemingly dead.
Are the fires getting to him?
It'll take a little bit of time, but he falls down and there's fire near him. So
Yeah.
Did I race forward, grab his body, and chuck it out the door into the hellscape?
okay, grab it, thrown into the hellscape.
Yeah, shut the door.
Shut the door.
Dude's all
I guess I'm
15
with you guys
pounds.
then. Yeah.
All right, do you leave the room? Do you head back into the chamber with which you also set on fire?
Oh my God. Yeah, I guess we go inside.
Here's the thing, though. I guarantee if we just asked the butler to take us to the Lord and Lady and our patient, we would get there.
You
Oh, yeah.
stopped him last time.
I'm just saying. I didn't
Oh
say
my
Out
that's
of
why.
character.
Out of character. OOC. I bet you all we had to do was literally be like, take us to the Lord and Lady, and then just be patient, and we would be there.
Yes.
That's my bet.
This
We'll find out after.
this was my original plan.
All right. Quickly going into the next room, you open the door and it's no longer that chamber you lit on fire. It's a new one.
Oh, that's good.
Okay.
This one, it is a large ballroom full of skeletons posed as dancers, but non-moving. But
Yay,
it's
more corpses.
hundreds of them all set up in this massive ballroom chamber. And you even hear the faintest sound of music drifting through the air, despite no obvious source.
Jesus.
Yeah, so I hate all of this. This is all bad all the way down. This has been a mostly negative experience for me.
Yeah, let's just start knocking over these skeletons.
Yeah.
Just start wrecking everything.
Yeah, we
Until
start. I
something
run
shows
to the
up.
room with my sword and start swinging all the skeletons.
Clatter, clang.
Ah! And we move forward.
And we move forward. Whoa.
Woo!
Woo. Tee.
Hee
Sorry, I'm just reading something real quick to make sure I am prepared for what will come. As you rush into the next chamber here, stonework has disappeared as you push in its place, oozing, pulsating slug flesh walls. The smell is awful. The shape is shifting and moving, and like it says, pop, pop, shifting and pulsing as if moving to the beat of a heart. This is another time. I want you guys all to make a grip check here as you walk into this flesh-covered walls of this chamber.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah, that makes sense. I passed.
I did not pass. Oh well.
I did not
Nevertheless.
pass.
Right? Your grip continues to erode. Hunter, you can take an XP.
I took one.
Nice.
Yay.
Woo.
What do you guys do as you see this before you? Your grip is slowly eroding from your characters.
Fucking hell. We're in here deep. If only we hadn't killed that guy the first time. I stand by the second time, though.
Yep.
Oh, God almighty. Yeah, more fire, right? What does everyone else think? You thinking more fire? This place needs to burn?
I'm thinking I'm gonna start stabbing the walls with my sword.
Yeah.
That's good.
So
Yeah.
I was thinking about taking an affliction. I got one of two options. One is the glorious blaze, where I basically become an arson, like a little firebug, or unholy communion. And I just say, fuck it, I'm on your side.
I think arsonist fits the best so far.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and take an affliction. I'm gonna take the glorious blaze. It's triggered by good opportunity to set something on fire, and I must pass a will check or spend one grip, or else attempt to set it on fire. Recover one additional vigor if a rest is spent lovingly watching burning fire. So this is now part of me. This is my personality now, is setting stuff on fire.
All right, so go ahead and put your grip back to 10 or up to 10.
Yeah, I just start slashing the walls.
Stab. And as you cut in, it just
I will kill this tower.
blood and who knows what other fluid flows from these gashes and sprays your character down effectively with each stab and spray. The room continues to pulse. It seems as whatever it is you're doing is not necessarily going to kill it.
Oh man. Okay. Well.
Ah, piss.
Yeah. So I guess we'll move forward.
Yeah.
Pushing into the next chamber, you find what is so tersely described as the Nightmare Sea.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
As you walk into this next room, the walls of the building have melted away. In its place, blackness. You feel it. A shifting of the room as if by seasick, and you almost see it. It's more you feel the presence of waves as they splash into your body, though you are none the wetter for it. Real quick, each of you describe a nightmare that lies within the roiling waters here.
A nightmare I see is someone running away from a great beast in the woods, but the faster they try to run, the more like the ground below them starts moving like a rug moving out below them in the opposite direction. They start to like lose their balance and stumble, and the beast starts to catch up.
I see someone being buried alive. They're screaming the entire time, please stop. Please stop.
I see in this dark sea an even darker shape just ominously moving forward, getting bigger and bigger and closer until that's all you see in the ocean is this even darker shape beneath the surface.
That these things are real or not, they are shifting and moving and at the periphery of your vision. But you're also not alone here. Amidst the sound of the waves is a like a plunger being ripped off of a flat surface and suctioned back onto another.
Like an octopus sucker.
Like an octopus sucker.
Do we look around and see what's making that sound?
Coming through the darkness, you see a shape form begins to manifest. The first thing you notice, though, is a top. It's the form of a beautiful woman. Golden hair flowing off her face, almost porcelain skin. Beneath it, a set of plate armor. Polished and glistening, but very clearly old. This can only be the Lady Aneka Ascania. And as she draws closer, you see the steed with which she rides upon. It is a loathsome horse. Its eyes almost red. It very clearly just like blowing like mist out its nose. And its legs, suction cup coated tentacles, shift and move off the floor as she comes along.
Fucking hell.
Lady Ascania holds in her hand a glistening length of cracked porcelain, formed upwards in a lance. And as she gets closer, you see the smile, you recognize the bloodlust in her eyes. And she says, "Are you here for the hunt?"
Oh man. What hunt of what?
And as if to answer, the tip of the lance comes down and is pointed in your direction.
Oh. Well, not willingly, it would appear.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right.
I need you guys to make an initiative check.
All righty.
All right.
It's D3 plus your wits and then minus your weapon.
Correct here.
Right.
Yep. So to determine a round's initiative order, each creature rolls a D3 and adds their wit and any modifiers for their weapon. So certain weapons are, let's see, if you're using your hands, there is no change to the initiative. If you are using a big, heavy weapon that needs two hands, you're going to have a -1 to your initiative. And there are quick and light and nimble weapons that may add +1 to your initiative. So it really depends on what you're using and how that modifies it.
But the D3, so I was just going to do the 1 and 2 as 1,
Yeah.
3, 4, 5, and 6. So I got a 1.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
As did I.
I got a 1.
Rolling once. But everyone acts on the same initiative, apparently. So you guys could go first before Lady Ascania will assault you. Sitting atop this horse, the lance has gone down. So Best Left Buried uses range bands for combat here. I think that she is probably like 2 bands away, enough where you can see her, and she can probably charge ahead with this lance and skewer one of you, but not immediately hittable with a melee weapon.
Okay.
Oof. Who's going first?
Uh, the well, I don't really have anything I can do. I think I'm fleeing. I'm hauling ass. That's my first act of initiative.
All right, give me a haul and ass check. So go ahead and make it a wit as you turn and try and sprint away. You're trying to disengage effectively.
Yeah, so it's just barely.
All right.
No.
All right, so just real quick, escape. A character who attempts to leave a zone containing a monster must make a wit check. If they fail, they must either remain in the original zone or be attacked by one of the monsters in the zone as they leave. Characters may make a wit check trivial by forfeiting their action for the turn. So maybe I spoke too soon, but you did make the success either way. And you're not even really in the same zone. You're just turning in an ass.
Yeah.
So which direction are you going? Where are you headed?
Towards the door that we came in from.
The one you came in from, okay.
Yeah. Wait. Oh. Actually, no, well, no, this is actually unrelated, because I was just like, if I encounter her, it would have been funny to throw the unspecified marital aid at her and then run, but I didn't think about that because I was too panicked, so I just ran and did not throw the unspecified marital aid.
Would you turn and head towards the door you came out of?
Yeah.
I think you can make it to that door within your turn. Maybe not go through it, but at least make it up towards it.
Yeah, it makes total sense.
Okay.
All right. Well, we're here to kill a witch, so I'm here to kill a witch.
Yep. Same.
The witch is 2 zones away.
Yeah, I think so. If you want to use your turn to run up to her, you can do so.
I can, but could I move up 1 zone and then throw an axe?
Sure.
Okay, I do that.
Yay.
So you move up and go ahead and roll your attack for this. I will say the horse and Lady Ascania are both armored. It's exceptionally difficult to hit her. You have to exceed an armor of 11 in order to land this attack.
Ooh.
So I think you did it. Maybe?
Yeah.
Nope.
Plus,
No.
do you
Yeah,
have
but-
anything to add to your...
Well, so for thrown weapons, it says wits or brawn. I assumed it's wits if I'm throwing it, brawn if I'm using it in my hand.
I don't know. I'm just going to pick
I think
whatever
it's
you
wit
want.
or
Yeah.
brawn when you're throwing it. I think that's
Oh,
all
Yeah, on the
it
count
is.
of the fact that it does say wit or brawn.
Well, then I have a +2 to brawn, so I'm using my strength to throw it at her.
Mhm.
And then it did 5 damage plus 0, so just 5 damage.
For those, you know what? We should probably say what our numbers are for podcast, but they can hear the fails and successes. That was 3 5s, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
3 5s.
Yeah, that was an exceptional roll.
I'm not
As
fucking
you
around, guys.
Take this axe, wing it, and it hits into her armor. It does a fairly like substantial blow. You can tell it's not like she's like bleeding blood out of it at this point, but you got a good hit in as you throw this axe and it bang smacks into her and the chamber rings through, even kind of like overtaking some of the noise of the nightmares that roil around you.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
I like launch it, and I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. That's my turn.
Ryan,
Yeah, I do the same thing with the dagger. Same exact fucking thing. I run up and I chuck it out, but I want to hit the horse.
All right. It is as if they are fused together. This is one entity here.
Yeah. So I can't knock her off the horse.
It appears not at the moment.
Sucks. Okay.
You just
So
need to tear them in
you-
half.
As you get
Yeah.
closer and you go to
I need the
throw your
mirror light.
dagger to aim it at the horse, you see where it's like the metal of her armor fuses into the metal of the horse armor itself. So it's difficult to discern a creature. I think you may have got
So
this.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 for my brawn. It's 11. So 11 hits on the dot or greater than 11. Yes.
Hits on the dot as far as I'm aware.
And then two damage.
Okay. You throw a knife in a similar situation, but bang, it clings onto her armor. It did a blow. You can see she kind of at it. No. The two of you are within range. I need to learn.
I didn't stay directly next to him. You know, I was far enough. I was more than a horse distance away.
So. Hold on. I'm going to determine randomly. There it is. 4. It's going to be Hunter. What is your armor class?
Armor class is 8.
8. All right. So Lady Ascania lowers the lance and the horse begins shifting forward as she moves to skewer you. This is going to be successful. I do not know if the lance... As the lance hits into you, it does 3 points of vigor damage. But it moving, you see the lance almost shift and flex in your direction. As it bang hits into you, you feel this weapon's hunger. Make a grip check for me.
Ah, motherfucker. I'm fine.
Okay, you're fine. You almost feel it absorb some of your life force, but you're able to shift out of the glow. Like you clang off of it and you're able to kind of duck out of it. So it doesn't quite latch onto you, but this just pull that comes from the lance that lets go. And you're otherwise unmarred beyond
That's
the
good.
3 damage that you took. So that brings
What
us
is
to all
the
3 of your
fucking-
turns once again. What do you guys do?
Murder.
Murder.
Murder, kill.
Yeah. Do you just want to keep the same order? Petunia, you gonna keep running?
I think seeing my friends being attacked
This is
has
bold.
seeing my coworkers be attacked has changed me a little bit. I feel at least some allegiance to Buriel. Not sure about Burgle, but Buriel. But so I think I think I'm gonna stop hauling ass. I think I'm gonna do something dumb, and I'm gonna just try and run up to wherever the hell they are and see if I can do anything.
So you're quite a distance away because you ran. And
Yeah.
they all ran towards each other while you ran away. So we're gonna say this is like 2 zones. You can get up to the fray with your turn,
Yeah,
or you
sounds
can
fine by
move a
me.
little closer and try and do something.
I wanna get into the fray.
Okay.
That'll be.
So you look at the door, you turn, and as you begin to shift away, hear it. Bum bum. Bum bum. Reverberating through the door. But you run forward and find yourself engaged in the fray. Not with enough time to kind of do everything, but enough to get into whatever the aftermath of Variel and Burgil are going to do right now.
Alrighty.
All right, so with that in mind, Burgil, Variel, what are you doing? This great beast looms ahead of you. It's basically on top of Burgo right now, a lance length away, so effectively engaged in melee, having just bang smacked into you with an incredible force.
I'm about to swing up with my big sword.
All right, you got the big sword. You're
I got the big
closest,
sword.
so go ahead and swing your big sword.
Plus brawn. So
You can also spend grit to re-roll.
Right.
Remember.
I spend grip to just re-roll the whole thing.
As far as I'm aware, yeah.
Sorry?
As far as I'm aware.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna spend 1 grip because I don't care about living through this. And I'll go ahead and re-roll. And I have a 2 modifier. 8, 9, 10. I miss.
You want to keep spending points?
I'm gonna spend more grip, dude.
Yeah,
honestly. 5, 8, 9, 10. No more grip spinning.
All right. So you are frustrated as the creature is moving quicker than you would expect, especially on its like suction cup legs. But as you go to swing with your giant sword, you see as it shifts and moves out of your way, and you clang into the ground, having missed entirely.
I tried really hard.
You're still zone away, I believe, Ariel, but you can move up to engage if you wish to use melee weapons, but you're at least a little away.
Yeah, I'm going to run. And as I do, I pull out my manacles. And I want to leap at this woman and try to clamp them on her wrists.
Okay,
Which
okay.
I'm going to assume is part of grappling.
Yeah. I'll
on
say
page 79.
Yeah, grappling. All right. As an action, a character can grapple a target in melee range. The grappler makes a brawn check, restraining the target if they pass. To escape removing this condition, the target must use their action on a wit or brawn check, breaking the grapple and regaining their movement on a success. Otherwise, the grapple continues.
But on top of just restraining, I'm using manacles, which is an item I took in the game in the beginning. So maybe she's like against the odds or can't because I'm a smart person.
Go ahead and give yourself advantage. What the fuck's it called?
Yeah.
System terminology. Add a 3rd die to your roll.
A 4th die even.
Oh, so this is just a standard check, not an attack.
Oh, that's right. But it's called it's not over the top. It's called someone in chat knows. Someone in the comments. I don't care. I lost it. All right. We'll find it. So 3 dice plus my 2 brawn modifier.
The upper hand.
The upper hand, that's what it is.
Not the lower hand.
All right, so that is a success because you exceeded.
5 and 4 is 9 plus 2 is 11. Yes.
Yeah, target of 9 plus whatever brawn or whatever. So, Dario, you leap up, and I don't know how complete this grapple is because you have to like get up on a horse, and you're trying to hold on to Lady Ascania and latch the manacles. So it's probably not like a perfect, together, but it is enough of a pain in the ass where you've gotten one of the manacles on, maybe you're holding on to the other end, and it's kind of enough to kind of like fuck with her. Because I don't know if narratively, if you could have like put her hands together and latch both of them at the same time.
I need like 5 other dudes to just jump on and kick her and use their nightsticks and stuff to really effectively, do the job.
Yeah. All right. So the target is restrained. So the condition restrained means a restrained creature can take an action but cannot move on their turn.
Interesting.
Dario, you are on Lady Ascania, gripping and restraining her. she's going to turn with a gauntlet hand, try and crack you in the face. What is
sick.
your armor class?
9.
A 9. All right, let's do. Oh, I don't know how this thing works. There we go. Roll. I could have added to that as well. That is 6, 7, 8, 9. That is a 9 exactly. As I wish I kept the dice up there because I can't do math in my head. I think it was a 3 was the other one. So
yep.
She turns and you have one of the hands clasped. Maybe this is the one with the lance. Turns and cracks you straight in the face for 3 damage.
Oof.
To your vigor.
Sick. Yep. Great.
Don't worry, we'll kill her.
Probably.
But that brings us to all of your turns again. You're now each of you engaged in the fray. You're kind of surrounding her on this horse is blowing steam out of its nose again as it's shifting and moving on its suction cupped legs. The lance of Lady Ascania is kind of like shifting and moving around after she just punched Fariel. What do you guys do?
It's big sword time again.
Yeah.
I'm like, I swing down, I miss, or she blocks it, and I just back swing back up. I can't even tell what these dice say.
3-3-1.
Yeah, I don't hit her. You know what? I spend 1 more grip. Motherfucker.
It's a hard target.
Yeah, I miss.
So in this
and
case,
I'm also starting to go mad.
Yeah, you bring down the sword and it clangs off of the armor on the hindquarters of the horse.
I think I might go ahead and take an affliction.
Which
All right.
affliction you thinking?
Think of your affliction. We'll come back to you before the round changes over. The other two, Petunia, Variel, what are you doing?
I think I'm gonna just try and take out the back leg of the tentacle horse.
Okay.
Just
You said you had a dagger?
Yeah, I had a dagger.
Okay.
So that is dagger's made with wit, which I have a +0 to, so that's good. 1, 2, 3, roll, baby. Huh. Yeah, not. I'm gonna roll again. I'm gonna sacrifice 1 grip.
It's even worse.
Yeah, fuck it, whatever.
You accepting the miss, or are you gonna keep going?
I'm excited. No, I've got 9 grips, so I'm.
We're at the end here.
rolling
Let's
again.
all go on.
Yeah. All right. 1 more. Okay, there we go. 3 damage, and that was just all right. So that brings me down to, I think, 7 grip at that point, or no, it would be 6.
How's that work?
3 damage. I'm going
all right,
fucking
3 damage
insane.
as you stab forward, and you feel the nightmares begin to well around you, willing you to miss as the tentacle suction hoofs of this horse shift and move up. You end up getting a stab in, and you see a bit of black blood spill out of the tentacle.
Alrighty.
Variel, you are still on top, like wrapping around Lady Ascania in some manner, the manacle clasped onto one of her hands.
Yep.
What are you doing?
I want to jump off the back of the horse holding the manacles and clamp the other one to the back leg of the horse. So she's like...
Spine breaker.
So this is going to be another restrained check. If you are successful, I will make her attack more difficult. Make it harder to hit you guys. There we go. On the next turn.
Okay. Do I have any specials, or are you going back to the 2d6? What's the plan here?
Go ahead and do just a standard brawn check. You've already kind of like leveraged your advantage on the first one. You're trying to now take the advantage you already had and leverage it further. So just a standard brawn check, please.
I'm gonna be gripping up here.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Grippy.
What do I need to hit?
9. This is just a standard check.
All right, I'm gonna This is I'm going till I hit a 9. I'm just letting you know that.
This is for the listeners. This is a 6 on the third roll, a 10 on the
Hey!
fourth roll.
Boom! How many
We
roll?
did
1,
it.
2, 3, 4. So I need to cut my grip in half. So yeah, very, very, very cinematically, if she punches me in the face, I'm just gonna leap off the back, drag her down as my feet hit the ground, and clamp the manacle on like the bony, the bottom horse part where it's less meat and more bone at the bottom.
Well, sure, but this is less meat and more tentacle.
Sure.
So it's more
whatever.
meat than anything else.
Yeah. So you're able to kind of like
clamp the
pull
meat.
her back down and clamp it on to the end of the hoof. So the horse is kind of shifting and moving. She can't move, but she can still attack. And I think in this case, there's the three of you are surrounding her. She's going to swing that lance and try and wildly hit at somebody. This is going to be in against the odds.
It's going to be me.
And we're going to see who it hits.
It's gonna be me.
It's going to be Burgill.
She fucking hates this guy.
No, I just can see the future. So
Yeah, this is I'm randomly rolling to see who it hits and coincidence. All right, so this is I don't know how to use this fucking dice roll. There we go. 3d6. No, it's 4d6. I have to drop the highest. The highest is a 5, so that is a 7. This is a bronze, so it's a 10. No,
you hit me.
A 9.
You hit me.
9, that hits. All right. So another, I think it was only a 1.
It
Yeah.
was.
The dice correct. So it does 1 point of vigor damage, but the lance connects with you again. This time it's more of like a whip.
I feel like it cracks me in the jaw, and I just like spit out like a tooth and some blood.
It is a whip in this case. It's not like a pointed hit, but it smacks into you. I need you to make a grip check again.
How you feeling there, buddy?
How many grip do you have left?
Just that one.
Well, you lose it.
Yeah.
Wait, no. Weren't you supposed to reset because you took an affliction?
I was gonna
shit,
take it
you're
on my
right.
turn. So
Right.
I wrote it down
we were
already. Silver fingers.
We were going to come back to that at the end of the round, so we might be okay.
Okay. Well, then I have 9.
9. All right. You did lose it. So quickly talk about your affliction because we forgot to come back to it.
Yeah. Any easy opportunity to steal, I have to make a will check, or spend 1 grip, or attempt to steal it.
Okay, good to know. But you did reset your grip up to 10, and you did lose 1. However, as the slants clangs into the side of your head, whipped, you feel it. It's almost got a bite or a grip as it takes away part of you.
Oh God, my soul.
You permanently lose 1 brawn.
Aw, that's all I got. It's my bronze.
The other 2 of you see as Burgill begins to almost age as some of their muscle mass disappears and wrinkles, form on their face after being smacked with a lance.
And do their eyes become a little bit duller and
Just a little bit.
Hello. What happened?
What's your name?
shit, we're gonna become butlers.
Fuck, Joe.
But that does bring us back to your turn. You guys are doing okay. You're also Burgill's getting the fuck beat out of him. There's a wide open chamber here. You've run away. You're clearly damaging Lady Ascania, but she's looking otherwise fairly healthy. There's dings and bends in her armor. You've dripping black blood from a back leg. She is partially chained to her own steed here, but you're still surrounded in the fray. It is all of your turns again. What do you guys want to do?
I fucking big sword her again.
Big
5,
sword.
11 to hit with 1 damage.
Okay. A big sword swinging in, and again, another clack. This is more of like the brute damage, just clanging into the armor and the bruising. It occurs more so than the, drawing blood here.
All right, I'm gonna I'm gonna try stabbing again into the leg with my dagger.
Okay.
And that's I'm not gonna bother spending fucking grip on this one.
So you go to again stab in once more, and you know what? I'm gonna let you re-roll. We're gonna let both of you re-roll here. I want to take into account the work that Variel has done to restrain her. Even if she can't move, she's now in this weird position, swinging wildly. Both of you can re-roll for your attacks. And for Burgel, if it's worse, then we just can take the first one because this is my mistake here. But I want you to roll with the advantage. The
with
fourth
advantage.
die.
Whoops.
What the fuck? I keep forgetting what this is called. Oh, the
Over
upper
the
hand.
top.
Roll with the upper hand. So roll the fourth
that's-
die and drop the lowest, please.
All right, so dropping the 2, so that's 11, and I do 2 damage.
2 damage. Okay.
Yeah, I rolled an 11 and I did 2 damage.
All right. So that is all right. So another stab to the hindquarters, a little more black blood spilling out, a little bit more robust hit with that sword as opposed to just clanging off of the armor. She's still up and moving, looking a little bit more worse for wear now, especially with the dents and nicks and the blood coming out of it. But that brings us to Bariel. What are you doing this turn?
Well, that was my big move. I'm gonna run.
You're gonna run.
Yeah.
Okay. So because you are engaged in melee with this entity, you can disengage. Where did it go? Escape. A character who attempts to leave a zone containing a monster must make a will check, or sorry, a wit check. If they fail, they either remain in the original zone or be attacked by the monster as you leave. So you make this check. If you fail, you can choose to stay, or I get to make an attempt to swipe at you for free.
You're right. My sheet was wrong. What do I need to be?
This is a standard check, so a 9.
Oh, I'll use a grip.
Okay.
Happy.
I'll use a grip.
These are both 8s. Oh no, 8 and a 7, sorry. And then this is an 8.
I'll use a grip.
Again, you can choose to escape. I just get to attack you. That's the alternative.
Oh. Man, I did get just pretty low there. Yeah, fuck it. I escape and you can attack me.
Okay. I will be nice and roll at disadvantage here.
With the odds are against them or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna keep forgetting it because I have a memory of goldfish. All right. So as Variel attempts to shift and move away, first, where are you going? Which way are you headed?
I'm going. Isn't there a door? Didn't Petunia run towards the door?
Yeah, there's 2 doors here in the Sea of
Oh.
Nightmares. It's the one you came in and the one that you haven't gone through yet.
I'm gonna go towards the one that Petunia was running towards. That
Okay.
seemed like the one that makes sense to me.
It's a little closer to you guys,
Yes,
at the very
that
least.
one.
So
Yeah.
with this, if she's gonna attack you, but you can make it to that door with your turn. I think that's what we decided. The lowest die is a 4. This is going to hit you and do 4 points of damage. You shift and move away as you're running, just a stab out with a lance that hits you in the back for 4 points of figure. And I need you to make a grip check. Just a standard grip check.
Nope.
So you lose a grip and you feel the hunger of the lance as it stabs into your back. As it sucks out one of your brawn
Oh, dope.
and your life force with it.
How much brawn did you have, Ryan?
I had 2.
Oh, okay.
You have 1, but You feel some of your muscle leave you. You feel your skin begin to age, but you take the blow in the back and you stumble forward and you make it to the door, at the very least.
Oh, cool. I have 1 brawn, 1 will, 1 XP, 1 vigor, 1 grip.
That's surprising that you're alive.
But you have made it to the door, and it's going to be, I believe it is Lady Ascania's turn here. Because she was able to make that free attack, I'm going to have her attempt to escape. So she's going to make a brawn check. How do I add? Oh, no. I'm lying about this roll. There we go. It's only a +2. So that is a failure. So she begins to try and shift and pull and break free from this bond that struck her arm to her leg, but she's unable to break free, and that is her turn.
Ooh.
But that brings you back to you guys.
You know what I'm gonna do?
Are you gonna use your big sword?
I'm gonna use a big sword.
Use a big sword. Go ahead and roll before we do that. I said last time that since she's all kind of fucked up, you can roll with the odds in your favor.
Well, I hit her anyway, but let's roll 1 more dice just to see. So I got 11. My lowest die was 1, so if this is higher than the 1, I'll take it. Hey, fuck yeah. Hey, I just did 5 damage to her. So
Sick. All right. So this time,
actually, sorry, I rolled 2 5s. I have a +1 and a 6, so I did 6 damage to her.
6 damage. That brings us to that number. This time you cut through and maybe you hit like the base of the horse, and it cracks the armor. And again, you see a pretty good bit of black blood just come out of the wound.
Big sword.
All right, Petunia, what are you doing?
I mean, at this point, I think I'm yeah, at this point, I'm gonna take my dagger and I'm just gonna swing again. I'm lost in the bloodlust.
Okay. Odds are in your favor here, so roll 4 and dump the
4.
lowest.
All right. So drop the 1. That's yeah, no, that wouldn't have hit.
Okay.
Uh,
So you begin to shift and stab forward, and you miss.
yeah, just swing wildly, not even
All right.
close.
That does bring us to Lady Ascania's turn. Only 2 targets ahead of her. This is going to be for Petunia. So she's gonna roll. That is a. What's your armor?
Wait, who are you asking? Sorry.
You. Sorry.
Oh, me.
What's your armor?
Mine is 8.
Yours is 8. All right, with the bonus to bronze, that the dice are gone. Oh, there they are. Yes, that is going to be 5 points of damage
Ah, shit.
as she turns, and again, it's a stab down with the lance.
Down to 2 vigor.
Takes 5 points of damage. I need you to make a grip check.
Alrighty. Let's grip, baby. That is plus my will, which is and
Okay.
hey,
You succeed.
13 ain't bad.
Go ahead and take an XP for your efforts.
Woo!
And you're otherwise beyond the obvious blow. You're otherwise unbarred.
I'm so bad.
Nice.
All right, but that brings us back to all of your turns once again. Variel, you're sitting at the door. The other 2, you're currently engaged in melee with this entity here. What are you doing?
I'm gonna attempt to flee.
Gonna attempt to flee. Okay. So same rules. You have to try and disengage. That is a wit check. If you fail, you can choose to be at least have an attack attempted at you, but it's up to you.
I'm gonna. That's a fail. I'm gonna have an attack attempted at me.
All right. It's still gonna be a disadvantage here, so I'm gonna roll 4. And drop a 2. That is going to be a 7, 8, 9 with 5 points of damage.
Well, I am dead.
All right. So
I'm killed by the twisted English brain of Luke Gearing yet again.
Yeah. Not the first time.
There are ways to prevent this. I think for the sake of brevity, we're going to finish your character off.
Yeah.
Because we are over the time that we set out already. So the lance bites forward and skewers Petunia for shifting back and dropping her lifeless body onto the ground of this nightmare sea. Burgo, you were the closest. What do you do? It is your turn as well.
I think you guys know what I do.
You use big sword?
I've entered a battle rage at this point. I'm just nothing but war, you know.
Okay.
Do I still have the upper hand, or are we back to regular?
You know, better question. What is Variel doing?
I'm going through the door.
Okay. Because we're kind of running low on time here, we're going to leave Virgil's fate a little mysterious. You watched as holy shit, that was a roll. I think that succeeds, yeah. So the sword latches out, and you see it connect into flesh. You hear the scream of Lady Ascania and the horse in unison yelling out. You've done a pretty substantial bit of damage there with that blow. But Variel, you pass through the door. You hear the scream as the door latches on, closed once again. Not quite knowing the fate of your compatriot behind there. They seem to have taken a pretty substantial blow, or have dealt a pretty substantial blow to Lady Ascania here. But as you turn and look into this chamber, you find yourself in an infinite void, interrupted only by a narrow bridge of cartilage and bleeding meat, terminating in a huge beating heart, studded with naked, rolling, and twisted eyes. Bum bum. Bum bum. Bum bum. As you stare across this void, that narrow bridge, the door at your back, the yells of combat behind you, what do you do?
Oh, hey. This is exactly how I thought the rest of the day was going to go. More nightmarish hell. Is there a door?
Fire.
Just the one behind
Fire.
you and the heart head.
Uh,
Oh, look, the kitty.
yeah. So,
For the podcast
yeah.
listeners, there's a
I guess
cat
I'll
on screen.
Yeah, burn it. I guess I'll. No, I don't. I'm not gonna. I would burn it. God, that's insane. Um. Dope. Uh, are you the heart of the castle?
The heart beats. There's a whistle over the arteries. You could almost hear it respond. But in your mind, you hear a affirmation.
So it's talking.
If you want to call it that.
Sure. How do we get out of here?
Ooh, good question. The heart beats. Bum bum bum. You almost see a doorway separate from the one you came from, form in the wall. But there is a feeling here as you stare into this heart. of longing. It wants something. It wants you.
Nah, bro, I'm good. And I'm just gonna go out the this new door.
All right. We'll leave it at that. So you rush past this beating heart, still beating heart, and open the door and tumble out into the wilderness. You turn and look. You're sitting atop a mountain, staring upwards at nothing. Castle Ascania is no longer present on this hill.
What a fucking module. God, that ramped up good.
Mm-hmm.
Like oh man. That was good.
We did it. We all survived too. We did a really great job. Everyone lived.
We don't know the fate of Burgle. There was a fight going on still, so maybe Burgle finds the door later, but either way,
maybe.
that was Castle Ascania. And again, that is part of Behind Closed Doors, written by Luke Gehring. It's pretty deep into the module. You'd have to do quite a lot to get there naturally, but it is a pretty fucking good dungeon.
Yeah.
Nice.
Uh,
Well, thanks again, Luke Gehring.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Yeah. Luke's definitely one of my favorite adventure writers out there. Longest side quest we've ever had. It was a good time though. Definitely check out.
Did we go long?
We're at 3 hours and 40 minutes.
Nice.
Yeah. So it is my bedtime. We're gonna get out of here. That was Best Left Buried, SoulMuppet Publishing. Definitely go check out Paint the Town Red and Orbital Blues and all the stuff they make. It all fucks pretty hard. Garden of Eden they just recently put out as well, or the reissue of that. Good people over there. You might again be hearing more from SoulMuppet in a weekish. And we'll see how that goes. Stella, thank you for being here.
Gladly.
Josh, as always. Hunter.
As always.
Yeah, that beautiful face of yours. Hopefully we're going to get back into our side quest sooner than later.
Not next month.
Yeah.
Not next month. So the answer is later. But you will see that if you enjoyed this and you want to see us play more games, side quests specifically are for games we have reviewed. If we reviewed one that you'd enjoyed, let us know. Otherwise, that is it for us for today.
Yeah.
Thank you all. We will see you next time. Bye.
See you around. Bye-bye.